Felger and Maz. Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5, the Sports Hub. Paisley Media Group Station. Sports Hub headlines. Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Patriots are off yesterday for their bye week. The players were off for the entire weekend. They're 11-2. They have 4 games left in the regular season. Next up, a big game against Buffalo on Sunday in Foxborough. Bills are 2 games behind the Patriots for first place in the division after rallying for a 39-34 home win over Cincinnati yesterday. Denver's now tied with the Patriots for the top seed in the AFC after another win, 24-17 over Las Vegas. Indianapolis beaten by Jacksonville 36-19, and they lost quarterback Daniel Jones for the season and beyond with a torn Achilles tendon. Celtics won their 5th straight game yesterday. They beat the Raptors in Toronto 121-113. Joe Mazzulla's team blew a 23-point third-quarter lead, but rallied for the win.
We just didn't execute. We didn't meet the physicality that segment of the game required. We kind of just snapped out of it and got right back into it. And I think that's, a credit to the guys. You're not going to play a perfect game all the time, and we always talk about how quickly can you just get back to your best. And I thought we did that with about 8-9 minutes to go in the fourth.
Jaylen Brown scored 30 points, and the Celtics are suddenly in third place in the East. They visit Milwaukee on Thursday night. The college football playoffs announced their 12-team field yesterday. Indiana's the top seed, followed by Ohio State, Georgia, and Texas Tech. Notre Dame was left out, and as a result, the school announced they wouldn't be participating in any bowl games this season. And Major League Baseball's winter meetings are underway in Orlando, and the Contemporary Era Baseball Committee has elected former second baseman Jeff Kent to the Hall of Fame over Roger Clemens, Barry Bonds, and others. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Catches Law. At Catches, they specialize in helping those who have been injured not only from a one-time incident, but from a lifetime of hard work and labor. Does this sound like you? Visit CatchesLaw.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 6:30.
Listen to it, laugh at it, get mad at it, agree with it, argue about it. It is Boston Sports. Boston Sports. And it is all we do. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Toucher
You might hate me, but you're listening.
and Hardy
Don't bother me. I'm at the Pickle Palace.
on 98.5.
I know what I'm capable of.
He said something about peanut butter, right?
Yeah. Boning, baby. Make America nut again.
That's gross. That's disgusting.
Let's talk about cheese.
What are you going to have for lunch?
I was at dinner with my wife and a friend.
Kitty, kitty, pussy, kitty, kitty, kitty. Flap, flap, flap.
Shut up, I'm trying to talk to Paul.
Toucher and Hardy
Good luck trying to put your finger in it when there's a million holes.
on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Let's go.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. We are Toucher and Hardy. Tom Fair Tire Studios, 617-779-0985. You can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube and get that going for yourself. A big show on the way today. Mike Reiss. We go around the NFL. Dane Brugler with his first NFL mock draft as the college playoffs have been announced. And his plans on what quarterbacks are coming out and what talent will be available because we were running short on regular season as the season is going to wrap up soon. And right now your New England Patriots sitting in second place. And now if there was a tie at the end of the year between Denver and New England, that tie would go to Denver. And that won't change. If there's a tie.
Yes.
That cannot change. So, but everything is in New England's hands. They have really only one very challenging game left, and that is against, of course, the Bills. And that's at home because the Ravens, as I've been telling you for a long time, are not a good team.
I actually had a chance to sit and watch the Ravens for the first time yesterday. Like, really focus in on and watch, don't change the channel. And I don't recognize Lamar Jackson at all.
He won't run.
Yeah.
He's hurt.
Yesterday was his first rushing touchdown in his last 9 games. I mean, something like that. I saw the stat during the game. I don't recognize that guy. That guy, he'd get out in the open field and get tackled. He's not running away from anybody.
No.
It's really weird.
He doesn't look anything like himself. And there are huge chunks of the team that just, and I understand, like, Derrick Henry may not look like himself, but it's in tandem with Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
And if one doesn't look right, the other's not going to look right.
But you see what I say now about them looking flat? Like,
Yes.
they don't
Yeah.
look like they're trying. Like,
Yes.
especially offensively, they just look flat.
Derrick Henry, we were waiting for this, and it happens to every good back when he gets to the age of 29 or 30. After a lot of usage in his 20s, he hits the wall. It happens to just about everyone except for Derrick Henry, and this is the year it happened for Derrick Henry. He's while he is able to break a few big runs, he's not the same guy. And like you said, Hardy, working in tandem with what has happened to Lamar Jackson, that team is right about where they should be.
If one isn't a threat, then you can end up keying on the other one, and it becomes much less effective, which I didn't think would happen with Derrick Henry. I'm like, key on him all you want. There's no stopping him. But
it's different this year.
It's different. And whether the age is caught up with him or whatever stuff he's dealing with, he had fumble issues earlier in the year.
Yep.
So, yeah, they're not a threat.
Well, they called a touchdown back in that game that it was interesting because both announcers were just like, that's a touchdown. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yeah, it was a touchdown. I understand why they looked at it, but that's a touchdown.
Yeah, so the guy catches it in the end zone. He takes 2 steps.
Isaiah Likely, yeah.
He takes 2 steps.
Yep.
He then when his third foot is coming down, so the play's kind of over. The defender puts his hand in there and like kind of chucks the ball out of there, and they reviewed it, and then they said that he didn't finish the catch. So if you get 2 feet down in the end zone, I guess it's because he didn't like land with the ball. So I guess the lesson is when you catch the ball in the end zone, fall down and bring the ball into your body and fall down into the end zone. Because If you get 2 feet in and fall down, even if you fall out of the end zone and you maintain the ball in your hands, that's a catch. But if you put 2 feet down and then go take a third step and they knock it out, that's not a catch.
It's control, 2 feet, and a football move. I think those are the 3 things, and he didn't make the football move.
That was what was explained afterwards, which is crap because that's a touchdown. It's 2 feet down. That should be enough. The third step should count as a football move.
Oh, Nicholas, the phones are ringing.
Well, he was in here fixing this thing.
And everything. But then
fire something off there, see if it's working.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah, I was co-hosting yesterday. Yawn, whatevs. Me and McCarthy.
Too much, maybe?
Nah, never too many takes.
Okay.
Yeah. Keep it up, takes. I was with McTakey.
Ho!
But Denver's schedule is very difficult. They have Green Bay, the Jaguars. They're at the Chiefs. I know the Chiefs probably won't make the playoffs, but they got to play there, and then they have the Chargers. So 3 playoff teams in the Chiefs. So that's a difficult schedule.
Brutal.
So if you beat the Bills this Sunday, now I will not be here next Monday.
Oh.
To celebrate that. I waited for the book to end, and then I have chosen that as my day. I will take a long weekend next weekend.
It's old school. I like that.
Nice.
Yes.
What are you going to do with your big day off?
I believe I'm going to spend some time in the city, maybe overnight on Sunday.
Oh!
Check you out.
And, a little mini Christmas celebration. And then, hot stuff. And then go from there. And then I will be back that Tuesday. Sleepwalk through the week.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Next week, shush.
I mean, we could even do our famous best ofs that used to be a part of everything.
Can we not?
But nonetheless, that will be the end. So I will not be here on Monday. So you can win or lose.
Maybe that's when we play the best ofs.
You will have Andrew Callahan.
Oh.
Andrew Callahan in here next Monday, which will be better for everybody.
Oh.
Better if they win, better if they lose, better for everyone.
Get a bonus 2 stats, 1 line next week. I like that. Slot that in for 7, Hardy.
I don't think he's going to do 2 stats, 1 lie twice in a week.
No, on the days where he's here filling in, that's when I provide the 2 stats.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You try and stump him.
People got so pissy about the last one just because it was all golf related. You know what? It's a deduction game more than it is learning about statistics game.
And it's almost you almost have to do it because we do it again on Tuesday the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you should really
Hey,
do it both days.
If you're that concerned with what's happening here on Monday, then you should be here instead of window shopping down Newbury Street and eating scones.
He's Papa Large, big shot on the East Coast.
Why would I not window shop and eat scones? Why? I'm not.
That's
I'm
what
not
you
allowed.
are doing, so don't worry about what will be happening in here.
I'm not worried.
Okay.
I'm not worried.
You know, you mentioned things that used to be on this show, and I thought of that yesterday on Pearl Harbor Day.
Oh, yeah.
Because it made me think of a relative of mine who, for years, I told the story of him being at D-Day at Normandy, a cliff climber at Normandy, as the story was told to me. My great uncle. This is a war hero. This is a World War II vet, and not just, some Johnny come-along stuck in a supply closet in New Jersey. No. I mean, this man stormed the beaches at Normandy, Saving Private Ryan type of stuff. And I told this to a handful of people over the years, very proud of my great uncle for this heroic feat. The 80% of his unit wiped out. It was last year when my mother informed me that my uncle maybe never got off the boat because as a cook on the boat, it was his job just to keep the coffee hot for anybody who didn't leave the boat or anybody who did make it back to the boat.
I was just going to say how many people came back for the coffee.
Any trip he made to Normandy happened decades later, like maybe on some type of Norwegian cruise. It was never anything that he had to experience on that fateful day. Like, whoops.
Yeah.
But wait, he was there, though.
He was there. I mean, look, this is a World War II vet, as many of our grandparents and great uncles and stuff were. I'm not taking anything away from that. It's more of a laughing at myself for stealing valor on his behalf and maybe making more out of what he did that day. Not because I made it up in my own mind, but I'm pretty sure he told me, or it's what he couldn't say, the things he couldn't talk about, the things that he saw that day. And it was my mom and said, well, I don't know what he saw because he was in the kitchen on the boat. I'm like, wow,
it's probably still people he knew died and stuff.
I'm sure. That horrific.
Yeah.
But he shouldn't have told me, certain things that he did that made it sound an awful lot like he was Tom Hanks, which he was not.
Did he get some meat that he wasn't sure if it was good or not, but he just seasoned it and seasoned it and seasoned it, and there was a lot of pressure on him?
Well, I only found out
that was Korea.
years later. Yeah, when he was asked to put together a big event.
Oh, a Jewish singles event.
I couldn't remember what it was. I thought it was Yom Kippur. But
no, it was a Jewish singles event. Yeah, Kramer was involved. So I would give him a break. But I do like it when people have relatives that they don't know that well that did something in the military, and then they really make it about themselves and about how that somehow reflects on them.
Yeah, I can relate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just,
I
know someone that was in a major world war. Or a major war. You're like, oh, okay, you know someone. Yeah. Now, if it was like your father, and then like your father came back with like horrible PTSD and stuff, as a lot of those World War II guys did, and because they saw awful stuff, and then they didn't talk about it. I mean, that was tough stuff. Getting raised in a house like that, I can see the reverberations down something like that. But if it's someone that like you just happen to share blood with, and you heard stories of them doing something, it's one thing to go, oh, when you see them, oh, wow, that's crazy. Can you tell me some stories? These are great stories. Or if you like wrote a book about yourself going like, and then, yeah, I had my Uncle Dan, give a couple, maybe one paragraph to it, but other than that, it's very loosely connected to you. It might as well just be a story in a book.
Ironically, the stories that he had that I'm pretty sure were true because they didn't sound fantastical or made up. But after he came home from the war, he was a cop in Detroit for like 30 years.
So same with me. My Uncle Vincent was in World War II, and he didn't tell stories from that. He loved telling stories about being the chief of police in Jamaica, Queens.
Yeah.
And that was the other time.
Yeah. And like the race riot stories, these are not after school special versions that my uncle would tell. These were not only what, actually happened and what they really felt. And when he would start talking about what he really felt, that's when my sister would get up from the Thanksgiving table and just leave. She's like, oh, she really doesn't want to hear this.
Well, the not handled well by the government or the police, the 60s race riots in Detroit. They were, what do you call them? Made way worse by the police. Now, I am a pro-police. Everyone knows that. But in that particular instance, they were going well out of their way to agitate and made things 1,000 times worse. I mean, you can look at no further than the MC5. They busted a guy. It's very famous. John Lennon did a charity thing for the guy for his legal defense. He played in it. It's a very famous thing. All these celebrities, they were in Ann Arbor when they did it in the 70s. I forget the guy's name. He was the manager of the MC5, but he was this big political figure around there.
Bo Schembechler.
They gave him 15 years or 15 to 20 years for marijuana.
Yeah. Smart.
And because they had been investigating him for like what they thought were anti-government stuff, and they just kept doing it until they found, and then they busted him on this BS charge. And yeah, a lot of instigating in that instances for what I've recently been reading. Carrie, go ahead.
Oh, hey, I kind of wanted to pivot it here and tell a little joke here about like a history. You're talking about like Pearl Harbor, right? You know?
No. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, so that's how you know when you're not really good at history is when you watch a documentary on Pearl Harbor. You're surprised you don't know the ending.
Oh, that is a Nate Bargatze joke that you just did. Basically, you could put on any documentary, and I'm surprised by it. He did one off of a current special from a very, very famous comedian, and he told it bad. So you got everything going there. He told the joke poorly.
I think Nate Bargatze is one of those guys. Now, it's interesting, too, because we've talked with enough comedians and know enough personally over the years, Fred, to know that these guys, for the most part, craft their jokes word for word. It's, they take it very, very seriously. Certain words that they will, change in and out and the timing of it. And it seems randomized and almost off the cuff, but that's part of the beauty of watching a really good comedian do that. But with Nate Bargatze, he's got that added thing that I think Bernie Mac had and certain guys have where they're just funny. If they just come out there, there's something about the way they look, there's something about the way they stand, and they've kind of already got, one piece of the puzzle solved there. And for Bargatze, yes, he tells that joke in a much better way, and he's got the timing down and the right words and the right placement of it. But you just stand there and look at him, and you just say to yourself, this guy's going to say something funny.
Well, he's got his point of view is the thing, is that he has his point of view, and so he is very good at that. Like, he has a very unique point of view. And so and it's in this kind of culture of comedy right now, he's been able to like break every boundary because he is a clean comic who's appreciated by the dirtiest comics. He's doesn't get political in a comedic world that can get very political, and he's able, through having that like distinct point of view, to be respected by everyone. I don't know many people who don't find that man funny. So that's a tip of the cap to him. All right, that's
a double tip. Now, we just had a caller pay tribute to him by telling one of his jokes. So a double tribute to Nate Bargatze.
Absolutely. All right, we'll be back in just a moment to catch up with everything that happened last night.
Toucher and Hardy, 98.5.
did you catch the game last night?
The heat's broken, so we're just sitting in heat.
Do you know dogs go through a fake heat? I learned this after we had our dog spayed, and she'll be coming up here in January, which is just like a hormonal heat. Now, there's nothing. There will be no discharge. There will be nothing oogie. There will be no diapers worn. But if you're really in touch with your pet's feelings, you'll notice she becomes a little more emotional and a little clingier, maybe a little more loving. Maybe you'll see her gathering her toys a little bit more than usual, and that is this fake heat. There's like a nesting instinct that takes over a couple times a year.
How old is your dog?
Who knows?
Okay.
Oh, he knows.
She will be 7 on January 11th.
What'd you get her for Christmas?
I don't want to say. She listens to the podcast.
What'd you get her? Do you wrap it?
No, it goes in a stocking.
Her own stocking?
Of course.
Okay.
Your dog doesn't have a stocking?
My dog's not there at Christmas.
So? Will it be there at any time around the holidays?
Not where there's stockings.
Oh.
Yeah, see? Touche.
That's sad.
Well, no, we go to my parents' house, and that's where all the stockings are. Now, I have a Christmas tree. For whatever reason, my ex-wife, even though she's Jewish and never celebrated Christmas before me, has a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
But my parents' house is the house with, like, the big Christmas tree and the stockings. So when we get there, that's when that all starts.
Okay.
Because if there were stockings in my house, they'd be only for looking at. They wouldn't ever have anything in them.
I find that the purchase of stocking stuffers to be the biggest pain in the ass of Christmas gift buying. And I only have to do it for one person. I only have to do it for Marcy. She does it for everybody else. I think she actually likes it. To me, it's like, oh, it's Christmas Eve. Hold on, I got to go to Walgreens. I'll be right back.
Oh, you're like my dad when I was a kid. They got all his gifts at Kmart the night before Christmas.
But for the stocking, I mean, come on.
Well, I'll tell you what I get in my stocking. I get a Tennessee lottery ticket. I get a thing of chocolate-covered cherries, and then assorted crap.
I think you've mentioned the chocolate-covered cherries before because one of my grandmothers was convinced that it was my favorite thing on earth.
Yes.
And I would get that was a gift every year. It was a box of chocolate-covered cherries that was wrapped up. And not only did I make a big show of how much I loved it, but I was expected to open the box and then just start, downing those right away.
See, that's the thing is that one year I guarantee you reacted like in a positive way to something and they went, oh, that's cheap and easy to get.
Yeah.
And then they wanted you to have that reaction every single time you opened it.
No, I gave the people what they wanted.
Yeah.
It's very
dangerous. That's kind of what
though.
happened to me. Is that I think one time when I was a little kid, I said, oh, these are my favorite. Like when I'm say little, I mean like 7.
Yeah.
And then from I'm 50. And so for every year since, I get chocolate-covered cherries.
You have to gather yourself when you open your stocking. I had the same thing. My mother always used to get me socks for whatever reason.
Well, you're Jewish.
Of course. So always used to get me socks. And one year I was like, oh, these are warm socks. It's cold outside. And now every year after that, I get socks.
I'll talk to your mom.
Please.
I'll talk to her.
Make it stop.
I'll talk to your mom, Mark Davis. Talk to your mom. I'll talk to her unless my mouth's full. She can look down at me and I'll say, hello. Hey, Wallach's mom.
Talk to the top of my head. I'm busy.
Yeah. I got my spunking light on. Under the sea, under the covers.
That's new.
No, I've used it before.
Okay.
Let me turn this light on. It's dark in here, and I gotta see what I'm doing, Lady Wallach. I bought you a radio, John. You want to see where it is? It's on your mom's boobs. Let's tune in.
Hello, Tokyo.
Hello. Put your ear up and you can hear the sea. All right, men. All right, here we go. What Happened Last Night is brought to you by Leonard Hair Transplant Associates, where your hair doesn't have to be a game of what happened. So change your lettuce and change your life with Dr. Matthew Lepresti at 1-800-GET-HAIR.
Kansas City Chiefs last night taking on the Houston Texans, who had a rough start to their season, but recently have come around, and that continued last night.
Bunch formation right on 3rd and goal at the 9. Here's the snap. Stroud, pocket collapsing, dumps it off to Woody, takes it across the 5, and in! Touchdown, Houston! C.J. Stroud to Woody Marks.
That would make it 10-0 Houston, and the Houston defense showing up as advertised, holding the Chiefs scoreless throughout the entire first half last night, Wallach. So finally, KC would get on the board.
4th down and 1 at the 2 of the Texans. Chiefs down 10-0 early in the third quarter. Kelsey comes in motion. They give it off. Kareem Hunt trying to keep his feet alive, driving near the goal line. Touchdown! Kansas City! Kareem Hunt with power and drive would not be denied. And the Chiefs have scored a touchdown on the NFL's best defense at 9:52 to go, third quarter.
Just listen to what you just said. You're getting all excited for scoring a touchdown there in Kansas City. You haven't said it's the third quarter. It's the first time you're putting points on the board. Let's not forget about your kicker who missed a very makeable field goal before that. I mean, you still got a job to do. I get it, but read the room. What was the crowd like there in Kansas City? Were they that excited? Or did they you got the sense they know what's happening. They know what's happening right before their eyes. And the Houston offense wasn't done on the night.
1st and goal from the 5, handoff. Dare trying to dance between the tackles, taking it across the goal line. Touchdown, Houston. 5-yard run. Dare Ogunbowale. The Texans retake the lead on Kansas City at Arrowhead Stadium.
He's excited about it, whoever scores, because that's the Kansas City guy again.
All right, well, maybe he's just leaning into
the
excitement.
That was the
Sunday
Kansas
night
City
football.
guy. Unless his twin brother is doing the Houston games. That sounded a lot like the same guy. Am I the only one thinking that?
Hold on.
4th down and 1 at the 2 of the Texans.
And
1st and goal from the 5, handoff. Dare trying to dance between the...
Who can tell anymore? I don't know. Sounds like the same guy.
All
right. Kansas City still had a chance late.
Mahomes to throw. 4-man rush. Mahomes unloads downfield and tipped and intercepted. Azeez Al-Shire has it off the deflection. Another pick. 3rd of the game for Houston. Wow. Kelsey could not hang on. Azeez got it. Hot potato pick.
It sure seemed like the end last night. I know Houston's defense is elite. They're the best in the league, but watching him last night, I'm looking at it, 14 of 33, 160 yards, 3 interceptions. Mahomes last night. It looked like the end of something.
Yeah, it's the end of. It's not the end of him. It's the end of Kansas City.
Yeah.
Well, now there's talk of firing the coach, firing the GM, firing someone. Now, I can't imagine there's any way they fire Andy Reid, but I would fire the GM in Kansas City. There's no talent around him. He's got nothing. He's got nobody. It's not like Mahomes is bad or Mahomes isn't great. Mahomes is great. He's just got nobody.
Yeah. I mean, Hollywood Brown, 1 catch. Travis Kelce, 1 catch. And bobbled 1 catch that ended up being one of those 3 picks.
5 targets, by the way.
Yeah,
1 catch.
That Mahomes threw last night. So I agree with you. There's nothing wrong with Patrick Mahomes. He just doesn't have the protection or the weapons. So Houston goes on to get the win 20-10. They move to 8-5. Chiefs sitting at 6-7. They essentially got to run the table and get help to make the playoffs.
I mean, Xavier Worthy was a first-round pick who hasn't turned into an elite receiver. Hollywood Brown is garbage. Rashid Rice, Tyquan Thornton. I mean,
they've been getting
Juju
away with
Smith-Schuster, Travis Kelce's 100. I'm glad that Kelce came back for one last run at it.
Yeah,
at least he can go right to broadcasting this playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the big reward we'll get is him and his brother broadcasting during these games. because it was bad enough to have Jason Kelsey, and now you're going to have both of them. And I started thinking about it. And I thought about it when Brady was doing the game last night. The guys that post football become like football royalty, like football guys that are, is in every documentary and everything. And that is the guys that you could see being at a bar, like drinking with with fans. I'll give you an example. Like Joe Namath. Like Joe Namath was a guy that you could like picture out. Like John Madden was a guy that you could picture out. The Tom Brady and like Gronkowski now and these guys live this like celebrity lifestyle that's just not. It's great that they're these big celebrities, but in terms of these broadcasters, color analysts that are guys that I feel that the football world like falls in love with. Mm-hmm. They have to be more salt of the earth kind of guys.
Greg Olson, for example. I could see him out.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Greg Olson's really good, but, I'm talking about if you were going to be a famous player and then turn into like a studio guy. I'll get like Charles Barkley is irreverent. He didn't care. If he was at a bar, he might tell you to F off, but you could see him at like a bar, like hanging out.
Sure.
Like, look at who's big in hockey now. Like the guys that aren't Gretzky. Like those are exactly what those kind of guys are. There isn't that with these elite players. Like they're too rich now. I don't think there's ever going to be that connection. Like, so if you throw Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce. See, Jason Kelce was kind of like he's married and he was a center. All his fame is undeserved. Like Travis Kelce is who you can't love Travis Kelce.
Well, you can't relate to him.
Relate or love him as a guy, like your guy.
Yeah.
Like that, it's impossible. Like Tom Brady's never going to be anyone's guy. He's too removed. Even when he was here. Yeah. I mean, he was so great, and he's very handsome, and all these things.
He was living in Chestnut Hill with a supermodel. There isn't a less relatable guy out there.
But what was more likely, seeing, honestly, like seeing Leonardo DiCaprio filming a movie or Tom Brady while he was playing here?
Leo, as I call him.
I mean, it's really 50-50. I mean, seeing some famous guy filming a movie in town when they were filming every movie in town, or seeing Tom Brady. Even when Tom Brady was here, it wasn't like he was here.
No.
He played football at Gillette, but he wasn't around. I mean, I saw Giselle at the spin class.
Yeah.
Which is very exciting.
One time, and it wasn't even me, it was someone I know, saw Tom Brady at the Toys R Us in Dedham with one of his kids picking out toys. Seriously, the number of times you can talk about him being like out and about doing normal person things in the town that he lived in and worked in for decades, I can count on one hand. Like there's one story about him being out somewhere. What else?
Well, I see Tatum, 4 or 5 times a year, like at CVS and stuff like that. It doesn't mean anything. And those Bruins players just went out and drank with everyone. But
you go up to them and say like, "Hey," and introduce yourself and start talking hoop.
Depends. If I have my St. Louis hat on, I'll go.
Oh yeah,
I'll just point to it.
Hell yeah.
And then he'll go, "Are you from St. Louis?" And I'll go, "Yeah." Lying. And he'll go, "Yeah, what part?" I go, "Yeah, real bad part." And he goes, "Yeah," and I go, "Yeah, Nelly, huh?" And then he goes, "Yeah," and then we high five anyway, and then we like go free base for a while. Don't worry about it. We have fun. But I see him around.
Right.
You couldn't walk 2 feet without seeing those Bruins players. Now I understand Tom Brady's a bigger star. But it's guys like Zolak. Like those are the guys that like kind of become part of the community. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like charismatic guys that like you can see them out. Now, yes, you've seen Scott walk through like any kind of major setting. Everyone, Scott. It's
crazy.
Yeah. Like Tom Brady's not that type of guy. So, I that's why I just don't think he's a very good color analyst, and I don't think he'll ever be loved. I don't think he has that. I mean, what was the recipe of the original Monday Night Football?
Howard Cosell,
who was the annoying know-it-all drunk, and then there was
that didn't come from football,
right?
Yeah.
So everyone hated him,
right?
But hated him in a good way. And how did they kind of massage that?
Ed Gifford, Don Meredith. Sorry, Don Meredith.
Yes,
right next
Dandy
to him.
Don Meredith.
Yeah.
They had Dandy Don Meredith, who, if you would describe as anything, would be just a good old boy you could have a beer with.
A guy who used to sing at the end of games.
Yes. Good night, whatever he would
Party's
sing.
over.
Yeah, and so that's the thing, and that is when I was listening to the game yesterday, making dinner for my daughter, her friend, who's male, and my son. I had that game on in the background, and Tom was annoying me, and I thought, you know what, this is never going to get better. Like even Collinsworth used to hang out at La Boom, you know.
Yeah.
He used to hang out at La Boom in Cincinnati, which may or may not have let in people under the age of 18.
What did you make for dinner?
Lobster fumador. Thank you for asking.
Baked Alaska?
Yeah, we'll be back in just a moment.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Patriots are wrapping up their bye week. They're 11-2. Players back today. Their next game is this coming Sunday at home against Buffalo. Bills are 9-4 after they beat Cincinnati in the snow in western New York State yesterday, 39-34. Celtics got 30 points from Jaylen Brown. They won their fifth in a row. They won in Toronto, 121-113. They're 14-9. They'll have the next few nights off. Their next game isn't until Thursday night when they're in Milwaukee. Indiana, Ohio State, Georgia, and Texas Tech are the top 4 seeds in this year's college football playoffs. Notre Dame didn't get into the field of 12 and announced afterwards they're not going to play in a bowl game either. And the Contemporary Era Baseball Committee has elected former second baseman Jeff Kent to the Hall of Fame. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Dr. Matthew Lopresti and Leonard Hair Transplant Associates, the hair doctor of Hardy, Tuukka Rask, and Charlie McAvoy. Call 1-800-GET-HAIR for your free consultation. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7 o'clock.
Stay tuned for more Toucher and Hardy.
We are Toucher and Hardy. Hardy, what else is going on?
Forgot to ask you, how'd your haircut go on Friday, idiot?
Oh, so this is kind of funny. I
noticed the back of your neck was shaved, so I couldn't help but bring it up. You look like Ernest T. Bass came down from the mountains to get all cleaned up.
Yeah. I mean, I knew I was walking in here after I got my neck shaved up and cleaned up. I knew I was going to hear it from you.
Yeah.
But that's you. I mean, I was prepared.
Hey, you knew it was going to happen. Go ahead.
So anyway, so this is kind of funny. So I get my haircut in, I guess West Newton is Newtonville. Like what is by Newton North, that area called?
I don't know.
All right, it doesn't matter. By Newton North, okay. I can never think of the names of Newton, and I go after the show, so I'm gonna get there like 15 minutes early, 10:15, because I leave here at like 10. So, oh boy, usually there's a big parking lot and there's all these places to park, and it's pretty easy because businesses aren't thriving. You know, the kids aren't allowed to park on the street at Newton North. I'm glad you asked. It's going. Every spot is filled, and people are driving like it's like someone pushed their car and then just like let it go. Like they're going under 1 mile an hour and then wildly swinging and all this. And I'm going, what the hell is going on? That parking lot is full. I go down to that Shaw's. That parking lot is full. And other than that, like the people are just stopping in the parking lot, like just stopping in the middle of it. It's really weird. Like everyone was high. So I finally find it parking on a street like way away, where I usually on the other side of Newton North. I'm not going to Newton North, by the way. I'm going to a business on that street. So I get in. I'm like, instead of 15 minutes early, like I'm probably about 5 minutes late. I'm sitting there, but they're not ready for me, of course. So while I'm sitting there and they're not ready for me, a manager or the owner, I don't know who it is, comes in and he goes, "Oh my God." He goes, "Do you and he goes to the people there. He goes, "Do you see what's going on out there?" He's like, "It took me 15 minutes to park." And they were like, "Yeah, what the hell is going on?" And he goes, "That building across the street's brand new. It's an old folks home. They built an old folks home downtown in that section of town and just went, no. And it's an active old folks home. So it's old people with cars. Oh. It's a multi-level. So I didn't know that they had built that. I'm telling you, if I had a house there, it would be on the market today. I would be in. If it wasn't on the market today, it would be on the market before Christmas. I would leave. You've drove me out of the neighborhood. That I can't stand. I don't know if it was because it just opened and it's like anarchy around there, but it's people that can't live on their own but still have cars. So, and all of them in one spot. So it's bad enough if someone's just driving around your neighborhood, making wild decisions, waiting in a parking lot in case someone leaves. Meanwhile, there's a row of cars behind them that can't get out or in. Just that kind of, you really shouldn't be driving. You really shouldn't be driving. That's the problem. And that's what was going on. I knew something was going on. I thought something might be going on at the school, but then I'm like, why would everyone be going so slow and so dangerously? Because kids can drive dangerously, but they don't drive slow. Like this was, and then one after the other creeping. I was like passing people in residential neighborhoods because they were like slowing down to see if every car had someone in it in case they might be leaving. It took me 20 minutes to park, and it was that active living old folks home.
Nice.
And it's right by the high school. So that's great. So if you're where Jaffe lives, so now Jaffe is neighbored by Newton North High School and an active old folks
Well, it's
home.
nice for the high school, built-in mentors. They're right next door.
Right.
Yeah. They have pickleball there?
It didn't look like something that could hold a pickleball court, but I can't say I took the tour.
That's what's next.
I'll look into it.
Yeah.
See, if you open up like a regular old folks home, just for like people that need care, well, that's not a bother to anyone. because they're in there. They're not allowed to drive because that would be weird to live in an old folks' home and drive, because the whole point of the old folks' home is that you can't live independently.
Yeah. Why are you driving around then?
Yeah, if you can go run errands and get groceries, like why are you paying this?
Why you're situated downtown so you can walk
or just be in a normal condo.
A condo, an apartment. Yeah. Like, I can understand downsizing, and I understand not wanting to have stairs. There's a bunch of things. I have elderly parents. They live in a house with stairs. I encourage them actually to get out of the house with stairs. But I understand all of that. I understand, like, not being able to get around. But at a certain point, when you can't get around, you go into assisted living. I think that should be the person's choice. But once you decide to go into assisted living, maybe not the car.
Yeah.
And maybe not driving the car all around. And if it was my parents, I'd say the exact same thing. I've told my parents, I'm never going to tell you what to do. You do what you want to do. I'm not, because my parents have, their kids are like, I want you in a home, or I want you to, which I think is terrible, because you're basically saying, I want you to not want to live anymore, is what I feel you're doing there. Or they're saying, like, I need help with the kids. I want you to move out with me. We're like, well, you want them to move out with you when they have this whole community here, and you're gonna go out there and just know you and have nothing to do. So they're just gonna be like twiddling their thumbs, waiting to die. So I've told my parents, like, you do whatever you want to do, whatever. Don't worry about me. I'll support you in whatever you want to do. But I got news for you. If they go, we need to go into an assisted living home, and then they're like, I would be like, well, why do you want to spend this? Because they're expensive. Why would you want to expend that amount of money when you can still take care of yourself?
Right.
Oh, they got this one guy. He took an Alzheimer's test. He had no signs of Alzheimer's, but they have a test they can do. This is at least everything that's been reported to me, including by the guy, because I bought some stuff off of him, like old drugs.
Yeah,
like
sure.
Because I pay no attention to those expiration dates either.
Yeah, he had a bunch of Quaaludes.
Yeah, you got lemons.
Yeah, lemons.
Yeah.
No, but he was moving out of his house, and he was selling some sports stuff. And believe me, he wanted me to come there, and so I said, sure, I'll buy this, this, and this.
Oh, this is the memorabilia guy.
Oh, I told you the story.
You have told us the
story. It's the Satchel Paige thing. And everything. I'll never get it.
Right.
I don't care.
Sure, but that wasn't the point.
Whatever.
Yeah.
The point was to give him the money.
Yeah.
So he went and got an Alzheimer's. His wife drowned, and he didn't have any kids, and it was really hard on him. But he took this like scan of his brain that said he had the beginning of Alzheimer's. So he not only sold the house, he moved into a nursing home, but he doesn't have Alzheimer's yet. Like, there's no signs of it. So my mom was trying to tell him, like, don't move into this home because you're just, like, willing the Alzheimer's on. And but the woman who's been taking care of him, who's a friend as well, like, encouraged him just to go into it. And I go to my mom, why did she want him to move into the old folks home? Why didn't he just downsize into, like, a smaller place? And she said, and my mom goes, I don't think she wanted to help him move again.
God forbid it should be about the guy. Jeez.
She's very nice to help him with
how
his
old
stuff.
is he?
Like 82.
Okay. But, I mean.
But he does it. You understand?
He doesn't need it.
If he never got the scan, and there's nothing they can really do for him either.
Yeah.
So it's not like he can get really aggressive and have all these procedures done. He said there's something in Israel where they might be able to do something, whatever. But it's one thing if you like go like I know I have this disease. I at least can do things to slow it down, and maintain the quality of life. But to my understanding with this, from what they've all told me, is there's nothing he can do about it. So it's happening, or it's happening, but they don't know when it's going to happen. So he's just like leaning into it.
But I mean, you're alone, unfortunately, and you're in your early 80s. That's scary enough, living alone, and then being forced to let go of the rope like that. I mean, that's awful.
Well, if maybe you have a bigger network of people who will help you move, John. You know, he's just looking at this very practically.
Well, you could have had yourself many Pat Summit items because he is a ticket taker. at the
Be still my heart.
At the University of Tennessee women's basketball games.
Right up my alley.
All right.
Speaking of basketball, the Celtics won last night. Blew a 33-point lead. 23-point lead, excuse me. 23-point lead. And actually, when I say blew it, they got close. No, they lost the lead late, but thanks to Derek White and a couple huge three-pointers down the stretch, they ended up beating the Raptors last night, 121-113.
Third place in the East, out of nowhere.
Yeah,
Look good.
They've been playing well. All right, so we'll be back in just a moment. Pat McAfee has a new song.
Hell yeah.
More Toucher and Hardy on the way on the 98.5 The Sports Hub and the Sports Hub app.
And now, back to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
We are Toucher and Hardy. You can watch us on YouTube. It's very hot in here. There is the heat is broken, and now it's very bright. Did it get more bright in here or no?
I don't know, but to say the heat is broken, broken in that it can't get any cooler than stifling hot in here.
Yeah, not ideal for a Monday morning, but nonetheless, there are 8 shows left for yours truly, so that will be okay. All right, we talked last week about Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee.
You're not counting today's show?
No, because I already woke up and drove here, so now it's pretty much on cruise control at this point.
8 more drives. 8 more drives in.
Well, I'm not working next Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you counted. Okay. It's a drive-in.
So, yeah, it's a drive-in thing.
Okay.
All right. Once you're up, you're up. All right. So, anyway, Pat McAfee announced last week that he is getting into a new form of expression. And we played some of it for you, but here is him talking about it.
Thursday at midnight, I'll be releasing my first song, Dookie.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Yes, there's about to be a crazy addition to, I think, my life here over the next couple. This has been a journey into music, which I've obviously always been a huge fan. And for like the last 15, 20 years of my life, I've just like kind of gone through life in my notes section, just like I guess they call it journaling. For me, it would just be like writing poems or...
Yeah, homos call it journaling. Not cool straight dudes. I guess they call it journaling. I call it just getting into my phone, knocking around, making music.
Hell yeah.
Congratulations, man.
Hell yeah.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, man. He's so cool.
Gone through life in my notes section, just like I guess they call it journaling. For me, it would just be like writing poems or bars or choruses or verses or melodies or songs. And I asked Jelly Roll one time.
You're writing melodies on your notes app?
If you record a voice memo, then maybe you can stick that in the notes app. I'm not sure. Look, I'm not an artist. I'm not a songwriter. I'm not a composer. I don't know how these guys.
But you know who is.
And I asked Jelly Roll one.
So when you want to go figure out how to craft a song, you go to Jelly Roll.
Right.
You know, he rapped until that didn't work out, and then he decided to go country because that's what you do. And country needed a fat guy with face tattoos, and they said, welcome to the club. And Jelly Roll will be as famous a year from now as he is right this moment. I can't predict much, but I can predict that his will be a long-lasting light that never shines out.
Elton John level of sustainability.
Yeah, we're talking decades.
Yeah.
We're talking about people are like, is he performing too late? Too late? Branson, Missouri, my friend. Look out. Jelly Rolls, Roll Tide, Alabama extravaganza.
And I asked Jelly Roll one time. I told him, I'm like, hey, I love writing. How do you go about writing? Got a chance?
He goes, I don't. How do I go about writing? That's interesting. I mean, that'd be like, how about you? How do you go about breathing through gills? I don't know. How do I go about writing? I go to these people. They write the songs. And then I stand there in a very long coat and sing and try not to sweat too much.
I told him, I'm like, hey, I love writing. How do you go about writing? Got a chance to kind of meet these guys and talk to Jelly a little bit. And he was like, let me introduce you to Ernest. Ernest, obviously, is one of the biggest music minds that is even out there right now. The amount of number ones and the amount of like...
Yeah, this is Ernest Goes to Music Camp. This is not Ernest Goes to Jail. He's found Ernest in just the right incarnation. This is not, if there's many Ernest Goes to movies, this is Ernest Goes to Music Camp. Ernest is a big, like Nashville loser guy that helps people have hits.
Ernest has cited among his biggest influences Eminem, John Mayer, George Strait, and the Space Jam soundtrack.
What a fun guy.
And he works with the producer who produced like some Nickelback records, so you know it's top-notch quality.
Yeah, I told you I have friends or acquaintances that I've hung out with that are Nashville songwriters, and they work a 40-hour week, and they go into an office and they have a whiteboard of all the crap that they have to include into the song, and they go about their business. Nashville has like this old Brill building style 1920s thing where they pay people a salary and then you get points on the records that get released, but you write songs for people like Jelly Roll. And that's why the songs all sound the same and they all suck. Because it's a very not the most from the heart process, I'd say.
No.
Talent he has just radiating through everything. So then I meet up with him, and then all of a sudden I'm in a studio in Nashville, and I'm watching these geniuses do their thing. My lyrics are being turned into actual songs, and then I'm singing. It's like this whole thing has like kind of become its own little journey in of itself in reflection because I'm visiting.
Yeah, it sounds like you went to like SeaWorld and you went into a room and they took a bunch of words from your phone and then turned it into an AI song.
Far be it from me to judge another man's life journey, but this song better be pretty introspective. It better have some real poignant moments to it and some, dare I say, truthisms that go beyond just the world of Pat McAfee, but something that I can relate to too, kind of on a global level and still on a molecular level. I want it to be big, yet I want it to be detailed and small.
Yeah.
Should be both based on this build-up, Pat.
Because Ernest probably had something to do with chicken fry. So if that's the case,
I don't want to give him credit where it may not be due. I'm not sure that's the case.
No, nothing with Big and Rich. Nothing with either of them.
I think just Big.
Or was he at all involved in the Applebee's song?
Morgan Wallen, Jake Owen, Florida Georgia Line, Thomas Rhett, Chris Lane, and Jelly Roll.
Not a formula among them.
Not one. All right.
Its own little journey in of itself in reflection because I'm visiting old lyrics in old times of my life. Yeah, it just felt like it was the right time to kind of start something. So the Dookie freestyle that comes a song is the first one we're putting out, but there's like...
Well, is it a freestyle or is it something that you wrote down? I can't understand.
Why do you insist on pigeonholing the man?
Because he said it's from his lyrics, and if it's a freestyle, that's off the dome.
Okay, what was James Brown? Were those lyrics that he was dropping on?
I don't know. He didn't say he freestyled them, and he didn't say he wrote them. I'm unaware of what he said. If James Brown came in and said, I wrote Papa's Got a Brand New Bag, and then you said, oh, yeah? And he goes, yeah, I went in there and freestyled it. I'd say, well, which is it? I don't know. Has James Brown ever contradicted himself?
No.
No, he's done cocaine throughout the whole process.
Some real life messaging coming out in songs. So Thursday at midnight, Dookie's dropping. I think the lyrics and
Name It Dookie, one of the best-selling albums of all time.
Yeah.
That's a good way to do it.
The song and the vibe will set up for some good content. And for all the other songs that end up coming out, know that I've been writing for a long time and watching it all come to... I got like emotional multiple different times, like actual tears falling. If I was to die, which a lot of these songs are about.
Fingers crossed.
If, not a lot, but there's a lot of trends about me dying young. And I think I've always expected that.
Yeah, because he lives such a dangerous lifestyle. It is true.
Isn't he in his 30s?
Yeah,
it's a little late for that.
Yeah.
It's not. He's past 27, is what you're saying.
By the way, referring to your music as content, it shows me that you take it very seriously.
Well, art is in the world of McAfee and podcasting in general. It's all about art. It's all about the process.
Is he getting ready to say that he could die happy now that this project is complete?
I just wanted to make fun of him before we got to the end of it by just saying he was going to die young because you know this guy's lifestyle.
Well, with the cigars alone, he's taking years off.
Pat, stop. You're out of control. And all the standing, his knees can't take that forever.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy's going and doing College Game Day. I mean, how many of those guys have been able to...
You can't keep that up.
I mean, Lee Corso's about to die. He did College Game Day.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Corso's 117 years old, but I mean, my goodness.
A lot of these songs are about, like if, not a lot, but there's a lot of trends about me dying young. And I think I've always expected that. And if it was to happen, I think through these songs, my kids will know exactly who the their dad was. Hopefully it'll be some good
Why don't you just tell them? You could have conversations with them all the time.
So life journey from before, present. This is who he is. This is how he feels. This is, in some ways, a love letter to his children. This will explain everything. Okay.
I'm all the way in Eugene, smoking on some new green, changing up the routine, gratitude truly.
All right, so it is the Applebee's song.
Okay, so a little bit of auto-tune. He's all the way in Eugene because this the genesis of this was when College Game Day was in Eugene.
And if it was to happen, I think through these songs, my kids will know exactly who the their dad was. Hopefully it'll be some good
Yeah, he's all the way in Eugene. He's
Your dad was an incredible douchebag.
he's smoking on the green. Something about now is truly a double meaning in that it is truth, but he's also maybe sucking down a few
drinking
Trulies.
a few hard, yeah.
Easier to rhyme than White Claw.
That's true.
I'm all the way in Eugene, smoking on some new green, changing up the routine, gratitude truly. Feel like new school dean, life's pretty cool. G3 jobs, fuel means tank top, blue jeans. Never.
This does speak of someone who thinks he's going to die young. 3 jobs, he's going to work himself to death. He's got a tank top on. He's got a look. And that's a tank top. And it gets cold, and there's a tank top. And am I going to survive this? Who knows?
Tank top, blue jeans. It sounds like someone who's about to keel over.
And it doesn't sound like anyone from the country community helped him, because you almost never hear da-da, blue jeans in any song, except for all of them. I'm a little concerned about Nashville. Seems like not a lot of integrity on the line there.
Fuel means tank top, blue jeans, never change. Crew needs deep shots, fuel screens, movie star, 2 scenes, bank account, juicy.
Oh, he's got a juicy bank account. I can see. When did he write that? That must have been a very trying time for him. That whole juicy bank account. It's like his thin white Duke period.
Can you imagine?
His juicy bank account period.
Hold on a second. I just thought of something. You guys continue with the meeting. Hold on. I got to open my notes app. Bank account juicy. Okay. What were you saying?
No, or he's just staring out the window of the plane, and it's like, Pat's been staring out the window of that plane for like 2 hours. You know how he gets up here. Yeah, I know. He just starts thinking about life. Yeah, I'm going to take his phone when he falls asleep and see what he wrote. Are you sure, dude? These are his most secret thoughts. I got it. Oh, it's all here. He's got his tank top, his bank account, and he's describing it as juicy.
Oh, it says blue jeans, too.
Oh, yeah, he talks about those two. Oh, give it back. Give it back. We shouldn't know all this.
He's waking up.
Yeah, you ain't. Yeah, you waiting for 2K. Yeah, you waiting for 2K. Yeah, I'm up here in Eugene, smoking on some new green, checking out.
Oh, so they just repeated it.
Right. So you hate.
He didn't have a lot in that note.
You hating F's is the chorus which assures this marketing genius that the song won't get played on a lot of places.
Can play it on his show. He can swear the day away.
And not going on the Today Show and playing the Plaza on a Friday morning.
Man, that's the enemy, except it's the same company.
I don't know if you've seen the video, but that's the part where Rick James comes in the background and he's playing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's playing there. And
Yeah, it's all the greats, all the dead greats. They use holograms of it. It's very classy. It's holograms of all the great dead guitar players.
I do like the video for Eddie Murphy's Party all the time when there are two guitar players in the background, and at the end of it, when Rick James just can't take it anymore, I got to go in there with him. I'm going to grab a guitar, and then you listen to the song, and there's not one guitar. There's three of them in the music video, including the one when you include the one that Rick James grabs at the end. But I dare you to listen to it and hear a guitar.
You're hearing a final mix. Well, he's an idiot, so that's good to know. It was not good, and it was trite and stupid, and I'm not surprised. It's actually so boring that it's not even that much fun to make fun of.
No.
I had the same thought. It's like I wanted there to be more like raw, like bro, like energy and anger to make fun of, but it's really bland.
Or more sincerity, where you could make fun of the sincerity in that he was speaking of feelings.
Right, which he clearly has none.
No, he's really a blank slate.
Very shallow man.
And I like it's us against them. You work for Disney, dude. You work for
you're
like
a multimillionaire.
You work. The money is of no consequence to me. That's not the consequence. You can be a tortured millionaire, but you can't. You can't battle the man and then work for Disney. That's not the way it goes.
I don't know if
Disney, who owns Paramount, who owns. I mean, there's like 2 media companies, and you work for one of them.
Look, but don't lump everyone involved in this project into the same boat. I don't think Ernest is a slave to some corporate structure other than the 19 other people he writes songs for in the Nashville Music Machine.
Yeah, somehow I think Ernest, not overly invested in this song. Nickelback he's needed in Vancouver for the new Nickelback album. And then you never know if Hinder will get back together, so there's that too. All right, well, congratulations to Pat McAfee. He's very, very cool. Let's just all agree on that.
You're just a hating the F. That's what you are. This song went out to you, Fred.
No, I hate him. Yeah, absolutely.
He wrote a song for you.
I hate him because he's a huge dork. A huge dork. A massive, massive nerd. One of the least cool people on the planet.
At least he's left behind something for his kids to listen to get a better idea of who he was.
Indeed. And even if he was being sarcastic by saying that, I missed the joke because you're so poor at telling them. So there you go. There you go. The great Pat McAfee. And if you like him or think he's funny in any way, shape, or form, really got to take a look in the mirror and figure out what's wrong. Because you're better off if you just want to look at nerdy crap, like super getting into comic books. At least then you can become like esoteric. You just waste your time with Pat McAfee. Ugh, he stinks. All right, we'll be back in just a moment with a great man, Mike Reiss.
More Toucher and Hardy next on the Sports Hub.
Hi, this is Jim from AAA Work Trucks.
are Toucher and Hardy. Mike Reiss is ESPN's NFL Nation reporter covering the Patriots. Mike, sorry I missed you last Monday, but I heard I knew all about the big situation with Air Supply.
Yes. Fred, Hardy, John, good morning. I hope you had a great bye weekend. Fred, thank you. Thank you. It was a highlight for me. You make it happen. I'm sorry you missed it, but I am still flying high after that one.
Yeah, Adam said that you're like a real fan, like that you talked to the guy and like you were on top of things, like right off the top of your head, you knew what to ask. You knew you were a real fan.
My only disappointment, Fred, was that I didn't have the band ready to go. You know, like the names. I knew the bass player, Doug. I knew the drummer, Pavel, but I didn't have the other guys, and I wish I had it. But
he called back and expressed some disappointment that you didn't name check every member of the band. But otherwise, I think he was really happy with his appearance on the show.
It was great, Hardy, and you were great leading the charge there, and it was that was a lot of fun. And while we're on the topic, for those that like this stuff and want to support our favorite bands from the 70s and 80s, 38 Special making a run through the area this weekend. Going to be in Lynn on Saturday night.
What are they doing, a 5K?
But someone listening likes that music. Lynn, Massachusetts, Saturday night, 38 Special. Let's go.
Hold on. Are any of the original members left?
Got Don Barnes leading the charge, John.
Well, it's odd that you mentioned Don Barnes because on line one, Mike Reiss.
Yeah.
You know him from Revenge of the Nerds 2. It is the great 38 Special. Take Me Back to Paradise. You recall that song, do you not?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, Mike, that's good. So you're seeing 38 Special?
Possible. That's going to have to be a game time decision just based on. I think I'll be there. But
top 4 38 Special songs.
I mean, got to start with Caught Up in You.
Mm-hmm.
I like Second Chance.
How's that go?
Well, I can't sing it for you right now, Fred. I'm coming off the bye week.
I'm not asking you to sing. How's it go?
In like more of a slower, little bit of a slower.
So I might not know that song.
Power ballad.
Yeah, they send it back to the keyboardist to lead the charge on that one.
Oh, okay.
Smart.
Okay.
Tonight will be like no other night. I don't know if that's the exact title, but I like that song quite a bit. Those would be 3, and
you haven't even said "Hold On Loosely."
Yeah, that'd probably be 4.
Okay.
Yeah, I like. They got a deep, underrated sort of. The reason I was pausing, Fred, is I was trying to decide between like a tiebreaker type thing.
Okay. But it doesn't seem you're really as familiar with 38 Special as maybe you are with Air Supply.
They would be a little deeper on my list, but still high on the list. I think that's a good analysis. Yep.
All right. Fair. Well, listen, I hope you can make it out there because you only live once, and who knows what's going to happen tomorrow. So we can only plan for today, you know? And,
I love that.
And you don't need to be on your deathbed going, special!
You're very inspirational.
Special! Ronnie Van Zant's brother, who might not still be alive either. All right. Have you seen Kansas?
Ooh. I have. Yes.
You have.
Of course. They were down in Providence, maybe for their 50th tour. I want to say 2 years ago, and I went down to see him. That was one I wanted to check off the list. That's a one-time, Fred, and then I think we're good.
Okay.
How about you? You like him?
I don't know if I know a song by Kansas, but I'm just trying to think of horrible bands.
Carry On My Wayward Son?
Yeah, you know that.
Okay, so I do know that.
Dust in the Wind.
Oh, I do know
that from old school.
I do know Dust in the Wind.
Yep.
All right. Okay. Well, listen, I hope that you can add this to your list. Do you have a master list of all the groups you've seen?
Not that I've seen, but that I'd like to see coming up.
Okay.
So, like, Fred, like, big year. Like, are you a Journey guy?
No, I hate them.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Why do you hate them?
I don't enjoy their music. I find it to be actively annoying.
And as long as they don't have Steve Perry,
No, but even with Steve Perry, I find them to be actively annoying. Like when I was little, they had the video for Separate Ways, which was really indefensible. So when you're, 7 years old and Separate Ways comes on, and they're out there on the docks, you can't turn back from that. No, I find their music to be actively annoying. Like I dislike it more than I don't care about it. I dislike it.
It's very hard for me to hear, Fred.
I don't think I'm alone either. I think there's a lot of people that don't like Journey. There are more people that do.
See, I can't. I wouldn't say I hate them or dislike them, and it's one of those weird things because it was one of the handful of like non-Neil Sedaka albums that my parents owned. It's like the usual suspect. There were the Beach Boys. Not Pet Sounds or anything. It
right.
was, like the
California
Surfing
ones.
USA
Right.
type of Beach Boys. Paul Simon, which was good. Neil Sedaka, you and I have talked about that, Fred. My dad had Willie Nelson albums, which I like, but Journey was like the one thing approaching a rock album that my parents owned, so we listened to it a lot. And I mean, what can I say? I still like Stone in Love. I think that's a decent song.
It's so saccharine. Like everything with them is like very
It's
saccharine.
overproduced and ridiculous, but it also takes me back to that time, so I can't completely say that I hate it.
All right. Well, it takes you back. Yeah. Well, if something takes you back to a time, that's a totally different thing. It does take me back to a time of seeing the video for Separate Ways, where they wore cut-off shirts with checkers on them.
Is that the one where the woman is walking up and back and forth along the docks?
The woman will not be
Stop
of any
walking.
consequence in that video. If there is a woman, it's of no consequence. It's them playing instruments that are not there.
Oh, yes.
Yes, it's but they're not kidding around, and they're looking at the camera intensely, and it's bad. It's bad, and if you watched it, you would think it's bad. And if you're a Journey fan and you watched it right now, you would not like it. You would go, "Oh, that's embarrassing." It wouldn't make you not like the band, but when you're 7, you go, "That's it." Too earnest, my friend. Too saccharine. I don't care for that. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, Fred, the reason I bring it up is 2026 is the year of Journey. They're going on what they're calling a Final Frontier Tour in June, Worcester, Mass., and then the next night, Manchester, New Hampshire. So if you change your mind, they would welcome you with open arms. Just let me know. I'll be there for you.
I saw what you did there. But I also, Eddie Trunk says they should play the San Francisco Super Bowl.
Yep. Neil Sean, the guitarist, did the national anthem on one of the big games. It might have been the last Super Bowl that was there.
Yeah. Yeah, he does it every year.
And everyone's just okay. Everyone's just accept the fact that it's Journey. It's Journey. Everything you love about Journey, but it's not Steve Perry.
Yeah. So Arnel Pineda has been the lead singer since 2007. It's a great story. I don't know if you've seen the documentary. They found him doing like cover shows, and they were really struggling to find someone to fill the void from Steve Perry because he's so unique with his range, and this guy has been there for almost 20 years now and sort of has kept it alive. They were worried that they wouldn't be able to keep going.
And then they saw it's not so much him as it's just that people will pay for anything. So that's good.
Well, you still have Jonathan Cain, the keyboardist. This is his last tour, guys, and then Neil Sean, the guitarist, is outstanding.
He was in Santana.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
How about that? All right, look. We have to talk at least about a minute about football with you.
Yeah.
I know you don't want to.
No,
I know you. That's the 9 to 5, and you don't feel like coming on here and talking about that. But here we are. What an interesting year. It really is. I mean, holy moly. I mean, no one was right with any predictions except for maybe Barth because he just thinks they're going to win every game every year. So you're going to hit once in a while. But, I mean, it looks like Kansas City's not making the playoffs. Would you bet on that?
I wouldn't bet on that. Yep.
12% chance according to the next gen stats.
Yep.
Okay, because Buffalo, the Chargers, or Houston would have to fall apart for that to happen.
Yep. And I don't see that happening.
Right. And so that means Indianapolis is a non-factor. If you don't know, Daniel Jones tore his Achilles, so he's gone. He was playing with a broken leg anyway. And a lot of you, I guess, saw the Ravens finally last week and saw how completely uninterested in football they are. I've been telling you that just because as a matter of I've just seen them play. That's a good way of putting it, correct? They're disinterested with the game of football, at least offensively. You saw Kansas City lose, and Miami and Cincinnati are jokes. So anyway, did anything that happened in the Steelers suck too? Who are you afraid of in the AFC? Like, who would you not want to play now that we're this close to the playoffs getting underway?
Well, so I think Buffalo is not that I'd be afraid if I'm the Patriots of anyone, but I think Buffalo is still going to be heard from. Like, that's what's exciting about this week. Patriots have a chance to win the AFC East. Buffalo's won it the last 5 years. Josh Allen playing, over the moon here, reigning MVP. So I think Buffalo is still a factor, Fred. And last night, I have to say I was a little surprised that Houston was able to go in there and do what they did. And I know Kansas City's down, but give Houston some credit. So those were the first two that came to my mind. And not to look ahead, I do think that Baltimore game, and I agree with everything you said, I still think that's going to be a tough game in 2 weeks for the Patriots. And I want to see if that still gets flexed to prime time, which is on my radar over the next couple of days, because I think the league will make a decision on that.
All right, well, the Ravens got to beat the Bengals in Cincinnati, and we'll see if that happens.
Yeah, Cincinnati no longer has anything to play for after losing yesterday.
Yeah, but Burrow's still playing, and he seems invested. All right, so are they going to flex the game next week? That they would flex that, you think, into the 4 o'clock?
So there's a couple different possibilities. They could flex it into prime time. So the game that night is
Minnesota-Dallas.
That's actually this week. I think the game next week, Fred.
Oh, yeah.
Bengals Dolphins, which
is
stinks. They could keep it. I mean, but compared to Baltimore, New England, they have Lions Steelers at 4:25, and then there's also Jaguars Broncos at 4:05 on Fox. And so I'm just thinking to myself, they're probably going to want to figure out a way to juggle something around. I don't know how the permutations would work, but it's on my list of things to just keep an eye on this week.
Wouldn't they look? If you ask me, I think that of the 1 o'clock games, that New England's got the best game. But if Dallas wins this week, do you think Chargers at Dallas would be more likely to be flexed because it's Dallas, or no?
And I thought about that. So I go down this rabbit hole, Fred, and then I always regret it because there's things I miss. Dallas is playing the Sunday night game this week. And I'm like, would they do it? Would they flex them in again? I'm like, probably not, but it's Dallas. And then you got to look at how many times they've been in prime time. Have they reached their limit? It gets confusing.
All right. Well, listen. They maybe I don't know if John Harbaugh's going to keep his job there. All right. I don't know. He doesn't seem to have that team going at all.
They wouldn't play hard at all.
They weren't. Well, dude, they didn't beat the Jets very handily. Hall had to fumble on like the 2.
It was really shocking to see Lamar Jackson look ordinary. You have focused on him. You've been on this train for about a month. I had a chance to watch him yesterday, and Mike, I don't know if you did. He just doesn't look the same.
No. All right, we got a break. All right, Mike Reiss, thank you so much, sir.
Fred, before you break, really quick, Patriots-wise, back on the field today. They're going to practice inside. Mike Rabel says going to be positive, focus on the things they've done well, but also look at a few things that could hold them back, like the red zone offense. I just wanted to get that out there.
All right, very good. And look forward to talking to you more as the biggest game of the season is on the horizon this Sunday. And that's a 1 o'clock game. We'll see with this Sunday at 1 where the chips fall. Thank you, Mike.
Appreciate you guys.
All right, we appreciate you. We'll be right back. Here. Hardy, and yesterday the Contemporary Baseball Era Committee had a chance to vote old men into the Hall of Fame, older men, but not the oldest of the old men, because they're Contemporary Era Hall of Fame. You're talking about Fergie Jenkins, Jim Cott, who hits his age righty and lefty. Hit his age righty and lefty in golf. Juan Marichal, Tony Perez, Ozzie Smith, Alan Trammell, Robin Yount. These are baseball. Some of these baseball cards you have an Ozzie Smith rookie that's in good condition. That's no joke. Now, Alan Trammell is not alone on his rookie card. Robin Yount, not as valuable because, let's face it, Milwaukee, not the world's greatest market. But nonetheless, these gentlemen, they were looking at Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, Carlos Delgado, Don Mattingly, Dale Murphy, Gary Sheffield, Fernando Valenzuela, and they put in Jeff Kent. Now, here is my point. I don't know why this committee exists and why this needed to happen at all. Here's what I think they should do, and I've thought about it, and I truly believe it. The people that should vote on the Hall of Fame are the people that were kids when that player played. So you have like a 10, 15-year gap between when you retire and when you can get into the Hall of Fame. And thereby, the kids are grown. So the only way that you can vote is if you were a kid. Because kids are the only ones that were cared enough and were around and were enamored with the players. Because if you were a kid when Bonds, Clemens, Delgado, Mattingly, Murphy, Sheffield, and Valenzuela played, I'm a little old for Valenzuela, but I know he was so big and such a huge and brought so many Mexican fans into the game. But he's a little bit, I wouldn't be able to vote for him because I wasn't a kid. Gary Sheffield, I wouldn't put in. But if you were giving me all those names, obviously Bonds and Clemens, but like Mattingly and Murphy, I'd put in before Kent because Mattingly and Murphy were stars, like big stars. I don't know what's so hard about that. So my feeling is if you just let people that were baseball fans that were kids during the era, kids, not late teens, but let's say 11 to 16 when the people played. And then you said, who you pick. And you give them a list of names. You can pick no one, you can pick one, and you can pick, or you could pick at most 5. And then you basically think back to your baseball cards. What baseball card would you have wanted? It's as simple as that. Well, that's stupid. No, it's not. That's what it's for. That's what a Hall of Fame is for. A Hall of Fame is so you go and enjoy the time and see the stars. Hall of Fame's not to see Burt Blyleven, and I don't need to get texted his all-time WAR. And it's not to see Jeff Kent, who's a dick and hit behind Bonds or ahead of Bonds or behind Bonds or wherever the hell he hit. No, Jeff Kent wasn't a big star. He wasn't the biggest star on that team. It's so annoying to me. And why does this committee even have to exist? Now, I love Trams and I love, Ozzie Smith, my favorite player of all time. But I don't know why they have to tell us who's in the Hall of Fame. Who cares? Kent didn't make it. Kent shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame.
Kent, I think the top, I don't even think he ever got 50% of the vote, the 10 or 15 years he was eligible.
It's the same conversation about the Hall of Fame every single time, and it annoys me every single time. It's not a hall of statistics. It's not a hall of benchmark accomplishments throughout your career. And by the way, other Hall of Fames do have those things. I mean, they're much the Baseball Hall of Fame is that, and football are the only ones that I think really matter to people. I don't know that another sport has a Hall of Fame that gets nearly the recognition that those two do. But
baseball is far and away the biggest.
Baseball's the biggest,
and they're doing their best to ruin it.
You make you can have another career based on being a Hall of Fame member as a baseball player, and that I get. But Fred, I agree with you nearly 100% when it comes to what it means to be in the Hall of Fame and how it should be viewed and who should be the ones doing the voting. And I'm not going to go off on my Jack Morris rant again because it's stupid and nobody cares. But to me, you can't tell the story of baseball without mentioning his name and talking about what he meant to different teams, and especially one team in particular. And if that's the case, then he belongs in the Hall of Fame and not in some Veterans Committee selection either.
The Veterans Committees, Fred, exist to correct mistakes from the baseball writers. The baseball writers got this one right. There's no need. How many people are going to stop by the Jeff Kent plaque and go, oh, my God?
But isn't it better to leave a guy out than put a guy in?
Yes,
Like to err on leaving a guy out?
Yes. This is supposed to be an exclusive club,
right?
In theory, and it's not anymore. If you're including guys like this, Harold Baines is the popular guy.
But at least Harold Baines was like kind of a star. Like more than Jeff Kent. I don't like Harold Baines in the Hall of Fame either, but at least when he played when I was a kid, and at least Harold Baines, like when Harold Baines was at bat, you went, oh, Harold Baines.
Yeah.
Like Jeff Kent
was the guy who hit behind Bonds. That was it.
Yeah, he's a dick.
But part of the problem is in writers, and I guess Hall of Fame committee members do this, they tie themselves up in knots looking at numbers. Kent hit more home runs than any second baseman in Major League Baseball history. And that was his in. Even though I was around and you guys were around when Kent played, and you went, oh, okay, he's good. He's fine. He's been in the All-Star game. But does he belong in this exclusive club?
Right.
No, he doesn't.
The thing about the only person hurt by him not being in the Hall of Fame is him.
Yeah.
So I would rather have him be disappointed than completely dilute the Hall of Fame. Err on the side of not letting people in. Like the NFL, who lets owners in for some unknown reason.
They should start taking people out.
You can't do that. Once they're in, they're in. All right. We'll be back in
just a moment. What if they run out of room?
Oh, you got to expand.
Oh.
Cooperstown, good town. They'll let you expand. Pretty cool zoning board. They let me put in my racquetball court. Don't worry about it. They'll let it done. By the way, just in on that old folks home I told you about that was causing all the traffic in Newton.
Oh, I saw the email.
Yeah, that's not a place for them to live.
No.
That's just a place for them to visit.
And to play pickleball.
Yeah. So they will be parking and driving at all hours.
They'll be driving way more as a place for them to visit than they would if they just lived there.
Why did they build that in a congested area? I'll never understand. I want everyone fired that was involved with that. I'm really taking to City Hall. I really am. All right. We'll be back in just a moment.
Comcast Business is giving your business the $1,000 holiday bonus when you switch to a gig speed package. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
From the Telfair Tire Studios, WBC FM and HD1. It's not just the games. It's Toucher and Hardy, Zolak and Bertrand, Felger and Maz, Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5, the Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group Station. Sports Hub headlines, presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Patriots are finishing up their bye week after 10 straight wins and an 11-2 record to start the season. Players are back in today. They'll practice this afternoon. The next game is this Sunday in Foxborough against Buffalo. The Bills have come to town with a record of 9-4. They beat Cincinnati in the snow in western New York State yesterday, 39-34. Indianapolis lost to Jacksonville 36-19. They also lost Daniel Jones to a torn Achilles tendon. Denver beat Las Vegas 24-17. They have the tiebreaker with the Patriots for the top seed in the AFC with a record of 11-2 as well. And basketball news, Celtics blew a 23-point third quarter lead. They were actually down 3 in the fourth, but Derek White was there to bail them out.
Derek White, deep on the left side. Clock rolling with 3:34 to go. Boston by 6 on the ball. 110-104. Derek White just pulls up, shoots a crazy deep three, and of course he hits it.
Jakob Poeltl stood back and watched him. I dare you. I dare you. I double dare you.
That is Sean Grandy and Cedric Maxwell here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. White scored 27 points in a 123-115 win in Toronto. Jaylen Brown added 30. That's 5 straight wins for the Green. They have the next few nights off. They're in Milwaukee on Thursday evening. Indiana, Ohio State, Georgia, and Texas Tech are the top 4 seeds in the college football playoffs. Notre Dame didn't make the field of 12 and announced afterwards they're not going to play in any bowl games this season. And the Contemporary Era Baseball Committee has elected second baseman Jeff Kent to the Hall of Fame. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Delta Dental of Massachusetts, proud sponsor of the Celtics Radio Network Most Valuable Veteran of the Game. Nominate a veteran who served our country for the chance to win 2 game tickets to an upcoming game and be recognized on the air. Visit the contest page at 985thesportshub.com today. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8:30.
This is what happens when analysts take over the games, take over the sport.
This is where you talk sports.
It happens all the time.
The Sports Hub. Toucher and Hardy.
Such an fantastic explosion.
98.5 The Sports Hub.
Around the NFL with Toucher and Hardy.
Hit somebody.
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy. You can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. All right, Around the NFL is brought to you by Joyce Cooling and Heating in Nashua. Give your home the gift of a new Lennox heating system and save up to $4,400 in rebates and tax credits. Schedule right online at joycecool.com. Happy holidays from Joyce. All right, we are starting in Buffalo.
We are starting in Buffalo. This, a couple of really good games on yesterday for a week that we didn't have the Patriots to watch. On
Yeah,
Sunday,
Miami, New York. Yeah.
Let's
Good to see the Cook kid.
Nice uniforms for New York there.
Yeah, nice quarterback.
I watched not 1 second of that game.
Yeah.
How was it?
I find that hard to believe. Well, I got to see the kid, the quarterback that my child met when we were on the field, the kid from Missouri, the undrafted quarterback.
Oh.
Why was he in the game?
Because Fields has a quote-unquote sore knee and was not dressed, and Tyrod Taylor ripped his groin. So they had put this kid in, and now I know why he was not drafted.
Yeah.
He is incapable of playing quarterback in the NFL. He put it in a difficult position. But not very good. I can't tell you I saw every pass he threw, as I did let my gaze fix on the 2 games that were good, this being one of them. This was the best game of the day. I'll go so far as to say. Even though it wasn't in May, have a good day.
Wow.
That's called freestyling. Thank you, McAfee, for the inspiration.
All right, let's go right to the fourth quarter then with this game, because a lot happened with the Bills trailing 28-18.
Back to pass, blitz coming. Allen steps up in the pocket. 40, 30, down to the 20. Allen looking for the end zone, and he's in for a 40-yard touchdown rip. The beast has been
longest one of his career. Have you guys noticed this phenomenon, John? This doesn't count for you because you don't have the Sunday ticket, even though you think you're a big-time sports fan. Pretty embarrassing on your part. But do you have any of the tickets? Do you have the NBA?
I have NBA, yes.
But you don't have NFL?
No.
That is not of interest to you?
It is. I just didn't want to pay the money for it. That's all.
You
I
didn't wanna pay the
watch Red Zone, so.
Well, Red Zone is not watching the games.
You need a few bucks?
Oh, sure. You got some?
Hardy, give him some money.
Okay, thanks.
And then if you give him money, you know you're going to have to give Nick money.
It's weird how they bill that. I saw this weird bill show up in my email. It's like an installment.
Nah, they just charge me right away. I get and I didn't even renew it. It just automatically does it.
That's how they get you.
But anyway, Thursday night I watched the Lion game.
Yep.
And I was perfectly content just watching that one game.
Wasn't that nice?
Yeah. And it didn't bother me. But yesterday, with all those games on, and with the Steelers being on regular television, and this game being on regular television, and the Jets in Indianapolis, I stopped watching Indianapolis, but the Jets game being on YouTube, there were more moments than not that nothing was on any of the games except for commercials. Like that you find yourself flipping around frantically and there's nothing on any of them.
Because you don't want to miss anything, and then it's not
that I don't want to miss anything. It's like I don't want to watch commercials, so I'm flipping to games just to see gameplay. And then everywhere I flip, there's no game.
There's no football being played.
On all three games, it's just commercials. All the time.
Feast or famine.
If you came down from outer space, you'd not think this was the most popular game in North America.
Oh, no.
Absolutely not. Not like big dead times.
I told you, we've talked about this before. The Australian football writer who went to his first game, and it was in San Francisco, and his live blog about what this is like. Never attended a game in person before. Of course, he knows American football, but here's what it is. And reading that, you realize how torturous it is, especially to be at a game live where you're not invested in either team. What's happening? There's a lot of standing around. I'm not sure. I think the game has started.
And they review everything. It's good they reviewed it because this is what made me think of it. In the Cincinnati Buffalo game, Burrow, beautiful pass, end zone pass, and it was to Chase Brown, I believe. And Brown catches it. Ball's outside the end zone, catches it, or the ball's in the end zone, catches it, falls to his knees in the end zone. He's in the end zone and falls out of the end zone. They call it a no touchdown. And then they review it for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, and what do you know? It's a touchdown. Yeah. Since he caught it in the end zone and like finished the catch, yes, that's a touchdown. I don't know. And even the announcer was like, that's not a touchdown. And you're like,
why not?
Why not? Like, why is this so complicated?
Why can't we just have it be a touchdown and get on with the game?
Yeah.
All right. So the touchdown there from Josh Allen makes it 28-25. All right. Joe Burrow. Let's get back after it here, kid.
Burrow under center on 1st and 10 from the 33. And it's intercepted! Jumping up in the air is Bedford! Gets away from Burrow! 30, 20, 10, 5! Your AFC Defensive Player of the Week has done it again! Christian Bedford with a go-ahead touchdown!
Yeah, that's what put them ahead. They weren't ahead when that happened. They were down, and Burrow tried to flip it over this linebacker or lineman's head. And this is the second game in a row. He's had a pick six. He just tried to flip it over his head, and the guy just jumped in the air, took it, and he free reigned.
I don't know if it was the snow. I don't know what it was going on. That play seemed to happen in slow motion. It was very you could follow it perfectly.
Okay, so what they said on TV was that he checked out of a run. That like it was a running play where if he saw this guy get loose, he had the option to throw to him, like an RPO, but like
yeah.
So it was moving slow, and he made that decision slowly, and then just couldn't get the ball over the guy's
Look,
head.
no matter. He's still Joe Burrow. I've been told for years that this guy's the greatest, maybe the greatest quarterback in the NFL. So he's going to get the ball again right away.
Sure.
No issues. You're only down, at this point, 32-28. It's a 4-point game. No problem.
With one of these quarterbacks is the way it should be. Burrow has it hit at the line and picked again. Lightning strikes twice for Buffalo. A.J. Epinesa gets this one.
Back-to-back interceptions.
Yeah.
One play right after the other.
The second one, not so much his fault as the first
tipped.
one.
Yeah, the second one was tipped.
The second one was tipped, but the first one was a horrible pass.
Yes.
Burrow was outstanding. He was out playing Josh Allen until that first interception.
Buffalo was trying to give the game to them. I mean, Cook fumbled out of bounds at the 1. That was another replay that took forever.
And then
he got the ball back and he fumbled anyway.
And then, they got the ball back and then he fumbled going into the end zone.
Yeah. That's right. All right, Joe Burrow, what do you have to say for yourself?
That's how the cookie crumbled this year. I would have loved to have been out there more, be able to make an impact, but that wasn't the case. Fought my butt off to get back to this spot and to be able to be out there with everybody and for our organization.
John,
in the city,
does that annoy you that he fought his butt off? Because what if other people start doing that?
I don't know. How big is it?
Well, I mean, as a heterosexual man, I'm sure you could appreciate it.
Sure,
but you don't find it sexually attractive.
I'm not for that.
Like, what if Monique lost her butt or something?
Bills now 9-4. They come to Gillette Stadium on Sunday.
You're fine.
I thought it was too. I didn't realize that was our sound
This
effect.
was Howard Stern in 1984. I will tell you.
And the Bengals are now 4-9. Go ahead.
That Bills-Patriots game, what a game. What a game. Game of the week. That is
easily
everything.
Patriots win, they clinch the division.
Patriots win, they pretty much clinch first place in the AFC because there's no way Denver's going through that schedule.
Let's go back to what you said earlier. Denver beating Las Vegas yesterday is very important for tie-breaking purposes.
It guarantees them the tie-break in any scenario, no matter what happens from now on, short of them not having the identical record. Denver gets the tiebreaker.
Win versus common opponents.
Right.
That first week Patriot loss to Vegas is key here.
Yes, but Denver's got 4 games left, and they're all hard.
Yep.
Packers, Jaguars, Chiefs, Chargers. So, look, the Chiefs, I can't tell you that's impossible. It doesn't look as hard as it was.
No. And
they might be eliminated from the playoffs at that point, and then who knows what they're doing. But it's a lot harder than what the Patriots have coming up. But
that last game of the season might be interesting because Miami might have something to play for. They're making a run here at the end.
They looked outstanding offensively for the first 10 minutes of that game yesterday. They put about 21 points up in 10 minutes. But I'll tell you, you beat the Bills, obviously. You just take the bye, enjoy it. See you in the AFC Championship game probably. You lose that game still. I mean, easily Denver could lose 2 of these games. There's no question about it. And I don't think there's any way that the Patriots lose to the Ravens. But you beat Buffalo. You beat Buffalo. You might be the best team in the NFL. You beat Buffalo. You might be the best.
Especially
throw the schedule aside. Throw anything. As of that day, you might be the best team in the NFL.
It'd be tough to argue against, especially if they look good doing it, and you're just going to have to make your peace with the consistency and not having, outstanding highlight reel plays to point and look at. You had the one in the last game with Kyle Williams, but other than that, you're just going to have to. I'm saying you collectively, America, look at that Patriots team and say, it doesn't jump right off the screen at you.
I was telling you, Drake May doesn't jump right off the screen. He hasn't thrown for 300 yards at any game.
He does to me, but nonetheless, if you look at the AFC and who's going to be in the playoffs, the only blue chip team is Buffalo. So, look, would you want to play the Texans? No. The way they're playing now.
As of this morning, that's who you would play in the first round.
Right. But the only blue chip team, going into the season, blue chip AFC team is Buffalo.
Like a Buffalo chip?
So if you beat them twice, how are you not the best team in the AFC?
You are.
You're the best team in the AFC.
Yep.
Even if you lose to Buffalo, you might be the best team in the AFC, but at least it's a ding on your record. You lost at home. And then if Buffalo beats you, They're 10-4. You're 11. You're 11-3. The division's in play. This, that, and the third. And Buffalo's on the come. That's 3 really good wins in a row for them. That's it's gonna be a fascinating game. I can't wait for Sunday. I won't be here on Monday, which is my gift to you after that game.
Now
that
listen,
will be my gift to you.
And in terms of how things were supposed to play out this season in the NFL with the AFC blue chip teams, Buffalo is the only one that is playing according to the script because it's not the Kansas City Chiefs.
Mahomes in the shotgun, fires over the middle, pass batted in the air, and it is intercepted. Jalen Petrie picked it off, and the Texans have a takeaway.
Well, they're not a great team just because Mahomes threw 1 interception. No, he threw more than 1.
To Mahomes, back to throw on 2nd and 10. He looks, he double clutches, he throws, it's bobbled. It is intercepted, maybe. Azeez Al-Shire intercepted it off the deflection, and the Texans have their 3rd takeaway of the game.
It's not Mahomes' fault. Mahomes still looks good for the most part. He's just lacking weapons. Travis Kelce bobbled another one there, and now Mahomes knows with a 12% chance of making the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, you're just getting late in the season. You're not going to get these opportunities back. And that's a good football team, but we had chances, and we didn't execute at the right time to win it.
They did not.
Well, you can't win the division.
Yep.
So you'd have to be the wild card. And Baltimore or Pittsburgh, one of them ain't going to be the wild card. One of them's out of the playoffs. Both of them suck. Oh boy, if you play Pittsburgh or Baltimore, that's good fortune for you. Yeah. So you would basically have to pass the team that just beat you, and that's not going to happen.
Yeah, Kansas City has the Chargers in Denver still on the schedule. Now they get both of them at home, but it doesn't matter really. Chargers and Denver should both be.
When does Denver play them? They play them
Christmas Day.
Okay, so in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, it's getting close.
They have the late game on Christmas.
Christmas is getting close, yes.
The goose, you know how you can tell?
The goose is getting fat.
Yep. John, put a penny in John's hat.
You mentioned the Steelers. We'll talk about.
You're old.
We'll talk about their game with the Ravens next. Not now. Next.
Whoa! Now you're teasing stuff.
Yeah.
What am I even here for?
Well, I mean, there's a lot to get to in this game. We're not gonna jam it in there.
Well, feel free. You might not have to. You're not the first.
I totally missed, by the way, when Mike Reiss congratulated you on your bye weekend, and you said, "How did you know?"
Yeah.
Right over my head.
Oh, there's a lot of those. You should go back and listen to podcasts every day. I'm hysterical.
I do.
I have sly, subtle.
I have notes for all of us. I'm going to hand them out as a Christmas gift at the end of the year.
Well, that was Adam's Christmas gift to us. He's going to check our tapes. All right, air check us. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
Sports Hub.
Oh, yeah. It is around the NFL. We already took you to Buffalo. Hello, big game this Sunday. Popped on over to Kansas City, where Kansas City looks like they're going to be on the outside looking in. Who's inside? Don't worry, you're not invited, Kermit. And I can't wait till the postseason when they can pop Travis Kelce on TV right away. Right away.
Oh, from your lips to God's ears.
Before we can even blink, I hope the brothers do something together so I can despise them both. All right. What is the next game? I think I know where you're going with this, but you could throw a curveball. I don't know. You're in charge.
No. I think you're right.
Treat me like garbage.
If you're...
Come on.
If you're thinking that we're going to go to Baltimore.
Yo, Baltimore City.
The Ravens are hosting the Steelers.
What a game. It was a terrible, terrible, terrible game.
How dare you.
Lamar takes a snap, wants a throw, runs forward, throws. Touchdown! Isaiah Likely in the back of the end zone, and the Ravens are back in the game.
That was a hell of a touchdown.
Until it was not.
Uh-oh.
Gene was looking for a third step. 1, 2.
I don't know. To me, that seemed like a touchdown. Just the two, you're keeping the ball out. Now, watching real time, because it's replay, it's like, could show things, boom.
Well, real time, it looked worse.
Touchdown to me.
Real time, it looked worse than he's trying to prove his point by showing it in real time. Real time, it looked worse. What happens?
You think it looked less like a touchdown in real time?
When they re-showed it, like the replay in real time, if that makes any sense. Not a non-slowed down replay looked worse than the replay. If you don't know what happened, Lively, who fumbled at the goal line last week, in the end zone open, he extends his hands, he catches the ball. 1 foot comes down, 2 feet comes down in the end zone. He's continuing to run. As he goes to put his 3rd foot down, Steeler defender comes behind him, moves his arm, ball comes loose. Called the touchdown on the field. There's that conversation between Nance and Romo. Romo is, got something in a paper bag next to him. I don't know what it is, if he's smelling it or drinking it, what's going on. They both say how it's for sure a touchdown, and then they come around and rule that it was not a touchdown because he did not finish the process of the catch.
First of all, it's Likely, not Lively. It's not related to Blake.
That's just my hope because I'm on a big gossip girl kick.
Second of all, are you suggesting that Romo may not be drunk, but he's sniffing glue?
Something's going on. And have you noticed his nose has gotten
bulbous?
Have you seen that?
W.C. Fields-ish?
Yeah. If he wore a top hat, no other costume necessary. Yeah. Just get people that are aware of the man. He's getting a little ruddy-faced, as they say.
How did it end, this game that Fred said wasn't any good?
It wasn't a good. Did you guys watch it? Well, don't make fun of me. Did you think it was a good game, John?
No.
I thought it was a great contest on the gridiron.
Cincinnati-Buffalo was a great game.
Yeah, no, we watched a lot of other things.
Snapped to Lamar Jackson.
Not on YouTube.
Rush coming from the backside. He's hit and taken down. It's Highsmith with the sack back at the 38-yard line, and that will do it.
When Lamar Jackson can't run, now I've seen him a few weeks with him not being able to run. Not so great at quarterback.
It's a sneaky big component of his game.
It's sneaky everything about his game. Like, not that he can't throw, but that threat of the run is everything. And he's, like, hesitant to run. He'll move up in the pocket and they know, too. He'll have tons of space in front of him, and he won't take off.
Nope. And you're absolutely right. The defense knows. And I would say 2 years ago, it was everything about his game. Now, at the start of last season, at the start of the 24 season, I thought, you know what? His throws look better. Actually, this guy he's got a little zip on it when he needs to, and he can float a pass in there every once in a while. But you take away the run? No.
And it's not an insult to his ability to play quarterback. It's just that he's not a pocket passer, and it's such a benefit. Even just the chance of him running obviously affects things so much. You have to keep a spy on him. You have to be aware of him. If you drop back into coverage and he starts moving around, you got to kind of be on guard because he could take off. I mean, all those things are in play. If you're not worried about him running, it's a lot harder to get open when everyone's stuck to you and they're not concerned about him taking off.
A couple of things. First of all, rushing touchdown yesterday for Lamar, his first in 9 games. That's unusual. And his long carry for the day yesterday, 9 yards. So even when he is in the open field, he's not making people miss.
Well, no. But you watch that game, dude. That's not he ran the ball 7 times. So I mean,
he could have run it 14 or 15.
He could have run it a million more times.
I saw this game. Yes.
And when he ran, as you saw, John, he could have taken. And when he ran, he could have taken off. And you saw that he didn't. He had no intention of trying to break a run.
Yes.
He's hurt. Yes. What are you going to do?
He's not. And he's getting, it's not just one injury. He's got a toe 1 week. He's got an elbow the next week, whatever it
happens. Once you're hurt and try to play through injuries, you start hurting other stuff.
But the scary thing is, he's only 28. I mean, it isn't like he's a 33-year-old quarterback that used to be mobile and isn't.
Well,
he's
I'm not
28 years old.
I'm not worried about his future. I'm just, I don't think. I think this season's over. I don't see him getting healthy.
It seems like things are being accelerated as far as his career is concerned. I don't know if we're going to see the Lamar we saw 3 years ago again. That's all.
I don't know. I don't know if that's. You might be right. I'm not dismissing it. I just don't know if that's fair.
Now, are you worried about Aaron Rodgers' future because he got a big win yesterday?
I hope he keeps playing.
And
he stinks.
Well, you know what? Why don't you zip your lip?
What does it mean to get a win like this after the week that you guys have had and the week that kind of Mike Tomlin's had too?
Means maybe you guys will shut the hell up for a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're the ones who need to shut up, unlike you, who's calm, cool, and collected.
A win for the Pittsburgh Steelers yesterday over the Bengals, and that puts them at
7-6.
Thank you very much. Baltimore falls below 500 to 6-7.
I was listening to that Wayne Kramer book, and he said he was on some board of Cannes or Sundance or one of those film festivals, and he's saying where they pick the awards, and a young Aaron Rodgers on that very same board. Aaron Rodgers really shoved himself into situations.
What the hell is he doing there?
Like a 27-year-old Aaron Rodgers, picking the Palme de Loom or whatever the hell the name of it is.
The Crying Monkey.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about the award, but he's watching some Korean film and telling you that what's going on.
I think the Crying Monkey is the award that was handed out to one of the fake films at the beginning of Tropic Thunder. All right, let's go to this Colts game where they were taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. And what happened in this game?
Flag on the play, and Daniel Jones is down. Daniel Jones can't even make it over to the sideline to be looked at. Lair Overton, what is the latest here with Daniel Jones?
He is seated on the turf, and he just slammed his helmet to the grass in frustration after taking a hit. He slid on this wet grass. He is now limping over to the Colts sideline.
Call him Charlie Brown. Slipping on that grass.
Oh, I see. All right, good. Yes. In Jacksonville with the slippery turf, Jacksonville would take advantage.
Otherwise known as slippery back tee. Shotgun for Trevor. Dropping again. Looking again. Fires in the right side of the end zone. Caught! Touchdown! Jacoby Myers caught it in the right side of the end zone. A 14-yard scoring strike.
When I sell that Maui Wowie on top of the water slide, they call it slippery grass.
I roll with the slippery tee crew.
You said Maui. I thought you were going to drop a line about your Maui gyms, like Dad Boner.
Yeah, I sometimes wear Maui gyms at the water park, but I don't want to lose them, so I keep them tethered.
Oh, you keep on a croaky?
Yeah, boy. You want to talk about a crappy game? Boy,
this one I did not watch. And
no, I had every intention to, because of course I bet on Indianapolis because I lose every bet that I make. But I didn't bet on Atlanta like it was suggested here on Friday. which I thought was odd at the time. Did you take that bet?
No, I took none of Kendra's bets.
Yeah, that was a. Having seen Atlanta play the week before, I questioned them coming out trying against Seattle.
I sung her praises like till I was hoarse when she went 4-0 and made some decent money, and then started getting on the wrong side of the action, and then now I just ignore it. Look, I can lose money by myself.
Everyone gets bets wrong. I just thought the idea that Atlanta was going to come out like against Seattle and put up any part of, like, they're so checked out. That's over. I mean, it's over, and there's nothing to play for. It's Kirk Cousins playing quarterback for them. There's nothing to play for. You are playing for nothing. No one cares. They don't want to get hurt. They're not playing for jobs. There's enough talent on that team to win, too. If only they would have hired Belichick.
Yeah, that's what they needed. All right, one more here as the Raiders were taking on the Broncos. Raiders offense, terrible. That Broncos defense, you don't want to play them in the playoffs. They're not going to be able to...
How has this become such a point of mocking?
What?
Not wanting to play Denver in the playoffs. You're mocking me.
No, I'm backing up what... Why? Did you say that before?
I said it before and was mocked, and now I'm being mocked for being right. Now it's being called.
Are you right?
Here's my problem with the whole situation: is that I said you don't want to play Denver in the playoffs weeks ago, like months ago, and Callahan over here went.
Yeah,
so I was like, "You're mocking me," and that's what I said. So I started saying, don't play Denver in the playoffs. Phil Perry was like, rolled his eyes. Phil Perry's a little like that, by the way.
Yeah.
And so he rolls his eyes.
Bit of an eye roller.
So you know me. I'm starting to get, what? You think you're smarter than me? You think you know everything? I give you.
What?
We have you in here as experts, but you don't have to dismiss what I have to say. And now that they're 11-2, now it's a joke, a big joke. Everyone knew. I can't see what you do is gaslight. False equivalency. You're everything wrong.
You're absolutely right, Fred. That stifling Denver defense, there's no way a crap team like the Raiders is going to be able to score on them.
Shotgun. Gino's going to throw again. He's walking left. He's angling to the end zone. Bowers and just makes the grab. Touchdown, Raiders.
Uh-oh. Narrative out the window.
They did kick a field goal in the fourth quarter to make it 17-24. So I got to give them some credit. Yeah.
And
I mean, you let up 17 points.
24 points. Wow, their offense was really cooking. No, not entirely.
Driving kick Mims on a gallop from the 48. Marvin in trouble. Steps out of a tackle. And here we go. Marvin's loose. Points to a Raider down the sideline. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. Marvin Mims.
I got excited. I thought Marvin, the neighbor's cat, was loose.
The game was knotted at 7. The only way the Broncos could get the lead was by returning.
He was under my tire.
Returning a punt for a touchdown. That team sucks. I don't worry about Denver.
I never said their offense was any good.
And their defense isn't great either.
Their defense is great.
Yeah, they just allow the Raiders score 17 on them.
Oh, that's
easily.
A look-ahead game,
they
and
made
you know
made it look easy.
It's a look-ahead game, and you know it.
I don't worry about Denver in the playoffs.
You know who's really having quite a rookie year is that Genty fella.
Yeah.
10 carries for 30 yards yesterday.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah, and look out now. Out of the backfield, 2 catches for 8. Maybe if their name isn't Gibbs, not taking a running back in the first round. And just real quickly, Notre Dame, who I saw barely beat BC, did not make the college playoff because everything's unfair and the world is horrible. They barely beat BC. And they lost the first 2 games of the season, but they are Notre Dame and don't have to play in any kind of conference championship. They pulled out of a bowl.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, my God, they're pissed they pulled out of a bowl. No one's playing in that bowl game for them. You save yourself the embarrassment. You think Jeremiah loves playing in a meaningless bowl game? No. Anyone who's any good on that team that's coming out in the draft's not playing. So, yeah, just save it. Don't. And I guess you punish whatever bowl would have had you because your fans.
That's the only one. It's the only one who gets pissed because there's obviously plenty of other bowl games to watch, and outside of the CFP, who cares? Who cares about these games? Who wins or loses them other than the alum? And even the alum, they don't want to see anyone good playing for them. And you save the embarrassment of actually traveling to a bowl game, watching their team lose because it's not really your team playing.
And by the way, the transfer portal's already started.
Yeah, that isn't the reason why. I mean, obviously the reason why is because, we deserve to be in, we're not going in, so we're pissed and we're going to punish everybody by not playing in the bowl game. That's how they see themselves. That's not why they decided not to play in the bowl game. They decided not to play in the bowl game because they were pissed they weren't included in the field of 12.
But my point is that no one was going to play in the game anyway.
That's true.
I mean, so big deal.
Yeah, what are the people who are upset by it? What are you really upset by?
Just everyone just freaks out about Notre Dame. I'm telling you, they weren't very good. A lot of the teams in this college football playoff don't seem to be overly good. And the Texas Tech quarterback looks like works on an oil rig and is 45 years old. He's the oldest person in the world. I thought they were I was at the gym and the pregame of that was on. It was like an hour and a half before the game. And I thought a dude from a podcast was throwing the football around and talking to the announcers. And it was the quarterback. He's got old man tattoos and a mustache. He's kind of fat. You see this Texas Tech quarterback?
Is it Baron Morton? Is that who I'm thinking of? I'm trying to think.
You're smarter than me if you know his name. I just know he's a mustachioed old fella.
But yeah, he's like 23, 24, something like that.
Yeah, he's
in real years, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. He worked for Hewlett Packard in their call department for 6 years. Decided to go give it another run, get himself a degree at night. And they found him, and they're like, you got a mustache. You want to play quarterback for us? We'll give you $10 million. I don't know anything about him, but I'm guessing he's not playing pro football. I've never seen him play, but just from the warm-ups, he doesn't look like the classic quarterback. He looks more like he's being a little too aggressive with your sister at a bar. That's what he looks like to me. All right, so we'll be
getting a little too loud by the Golden Tee machine.
Absolutely. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Chaos in Nantucket, absolute chaos. We'll discuss. at the end of this segment for a chance to win a $100 Visa gift card from Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Well, wouldn't you know it, the worst people on the planet are at the worst place on the planet. There is something called the Nantucket Christmas Stroll, and it is all things called strolls. It is for a bunch of vomitous human trash to go and get drunk and, hold the world's collective money.
Look, it's just called the Stroll. And if...
Was Bert there?
IYKYK, which obviously YD. Okay?
Yeah. I'll ask Felger about it. So every piece of human trash that has property in Nantucket and doesn't live there year-round decides to infect the island for a day.
How dare you.
In December, before they can go back to where they are from. Mm-hmm. And the scene is Federal Street, which you'll know from its lack of blacks and Hispanics. And they are there, and this collection of white dildos, human dildos, is standing around.
These human phalli.
Yes, are standing around. And this gaggle of yentas are in a restaurant, of course, filming it because they have nothing else to do. And this is the voice of the women. I kind of take you through what's going on.
Is it still going?
So what's happening is a guy that looks like Woody Johnson, the owner of the Jets, who's wearing a white coat over a suit jacket coat and a white hat, is tangling with Larry David. And the two of them are jostling like no one's business, which has caught the attention of the Yentas because, look, someone could break a hip, and which hedge fund manager could take which hedge fund manager? This is interesting to see.
I'm confused because I see 3 Larry Davids in the screenshot that I pulled up right now. Which one are you referring to? The one in the black coat holding the arm of the white-coated gentleman?
The one with the phone with 7 Russian prostitutes' numbers in it, as opposed to the other
all right. Now I see him.
One, he has a heavy pocket. You can see it through all the high-level Russian escorts he gets. Maybe not bringing them to the holiday stroll.
There's like 3 fights.
Now there's a big pile of nothing, but you'll hear the women react in this fashion.
Where are the police?
Oh, I don't know, you stupid. Where are the police? What do they need to be there for? There's a heroin epidemic when you're gone.
Summon the constable.
Yes. Oh, my. Where are the police? Who's going to stop Larry David from taking on Benjamin Franklin? Oh, no. Benjamin Franklin's gotten into it, Larry David, and then Larry David has gotten into it with George Washington. There's so many great bald men. Oh, this one has a white hat like Woody Johnson. Maybe it was Woody Johnson. So they want the police.
Yeah.
Because the police got to step in. Meanwhile, Federal Street is abuzz.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 old guys, these 2 old guys, have stopped jostling. And at this moment, something does go on. All right, so what you're reacting to is no one pulled a gun. No, there is a circle pit. And one guy throws a punch that misses, and then another guy who might be his trust fund weighs more than his body weight. He jumps on the top of someone who doesn't move. He jumps because what you want to do in a fight is start dry humping them. So what he does is he leaps upon him, holds his shoulders with like to his chest, his back to his chest, and just starts writhing. This does not dissuade the old man. He will not fall.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Then a guy falls.
Okay.
And he is wearing a sweater with a jacket over a sweater.
Oh, is it tied? Oh, the sweater isn't tied off.
There is a guy with a sweater that's tied off, as a matter of fact, Jonathan. He gets into it late.
Yeah.
There is a douchebag young man with a sweater tied around his neck that gets involved, and he gets into Jonathan a frantic kicking and baby-like tantrum style of fighting, which you rarely see. The guy who jumped on the guy's back is very happy, and now here comes the guy with his with the sweater tied around his neck. The guy with the sweater tied around his neck. Now the guy who jumped on the guy's back is being the guy with the sweater around his neck. He's backing away from him. Then someone steps in between the guy with the sweater around his neck and the guy backing off. So the guy with his sweater around his neck, let's be honest, never throws a punch. Never is punch, never throws a punch.
He's above it all.
No, he's not above it all, John, to get involved. He got involved, but he had a sweater around his neck.
Didn't want to damage that. That probably cost him $500.
$500, Jonathan. I don't know where you're shopping.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
This is, they have not said this in bed in a very long time.
No,
because all the juices are gone by the time they get home to you, honey.
Oh my God. Oh my.
It's been put in every receptionist and every Russian prostitute from here to Kingdom Come.
Yeah.
That's why he's not interested anymore. You are no longer a sexual object to him, my dear. You are but a albatross around his neck, a financial decision.
Oh my God! Oh my God! If you sync it up perfectly, it's when the one black person on the street comes into the frame.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
They cling to their purses.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Holy shit. Oh my God. Jesus. Holy shit. What are you doing, guys?
Now, the amount of blood on the street is a net of none. No one pressed charges, and the police just said, please leave. Can you please all go home? The police arrested no one, and I'm with the Nantucket police. I would do the same thing. I would just go, they're leaving tomorrow. Just let them leave. And then we can get back to our insidious opium problem that we have, so they can go back and leave, and we can deal with that here. Just awful. The biggest pussy fight, like nonsense, pussy garbage. Nonsense. Complete waste of time. Just rich douchebags being rich douchebags, acting like getting 5 crystals in them and thinking that they're all of a sudden thugs. Nonsense. And the sons of them running around and, taking it to another level and not even be able to stand on their feet. Imagine like someone's in a fight and you jump on their back and hug their back to your chest. That's your big move. And half of them take jujitsu. They do. They are all into podcasts and jujitsu. That's jujitsu in action. All these guys have gis and a dude, like a place in the house.
Oh, yeah.
What are you putting on the house? It's a place for me and my sensei to get after it. My gi. So anyway,
one of the comments under the story, over under on the number of times, "Do you know who I am?" was said.
Oh, I don't even think the cops bother showing up. They're just like...
No, just to each other in the fight. Do you know who I am? Do you know who I am?
If I'm the cops, I'm just like, hopefully someone dies. Because Lord knows this hospital can't take care of him.
That's right. We found out about that a few months ago.
Felger went whoopsies on his bike, and they had to airlift him to civilization.
Oh, no, wait. I'm no doctor.
Wait a minute. All we have are Band-Aids here, sir.
Well, listen, they don't have Band-Aids. Felger had quite a scrape, and they had to airlift him in the air via a flying machine to a hospital before they could not take care of him at that hospital.
Why did they have to take him on a helicopter? Because he needed a hospital.
Yes, and the Nantucket Hospital is that in name only. Oh. I see, sir. You're actually hurt.
We're not equipped for that here.
No. We're just the front for a cocaine
I'm a little
operation.
disappointed at the cars on the street in that video. What's that Mini Cooper doing there? There is a Wrangler.
You take up your private plane in. You don't drive there like a savage.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, caller number 10 to the contest line, 617-931-0985 will win a $100 Visa gift card from Valvoline Instant Oil Change this holiday season. Valvoline Instant Oil Change, or Valvoline Instant Oil Change, is giving you the gift of travel so you can get to all of your holiday events without worrying about the price of gas. When we come back, Dane Brugler, the draft guru, will join us.
Stay tuned for more Toucher.
this morning after finishing up their bye week. They're 11-2. They got 4 games left in the regular season. They play Buffalo Sunday in Foxborough. The Bills are 2 games behind the Patriots, first place in the division after beating Cincinnati and Western New York State yesterday, 39-34. Denver is now tied with the Patriots for the top seed in the AFC. They scored another win yesterday, 24-17 over Las Vegas. Indianapolis beaten by Jacksonville 36-19. They lost quarterback Daniel Jones for the season in that game with a torn Achilles tendon. Celtics won their 5th in a row. They beat the Raptors in Toronto 121-115. Jaylen Brown 30 points, and the Celtics suddenly in 3rd place in the East. They visit Milwaukee Thursday night. College football playoffs announced their 12-team field yesterday. Indiana's the top seed. They're followed by Ohio State, Georgia, and Texas Tech. Miami is in, Notre Dame is out, and as a result, the Fighting Irish announced yesterday they would be skipping the bowl season altogether. And Major League Baseball's winter meetings underway in Orlando. The Contemporary Era Baseball Committee yesterday elected former second baseman Jeff Kent to the Hall of Fame. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the Sylvan Street Grill in Peabody and Salisbury. It's that time of year again. The annual Sylvan Street Grill holiday gift card sale. Get 20% off all gift card purchases now through December 10th in Peabody and Salisbury. Online at sylvanstreetgrill.com. Eat, drink, and chill at the Sylvan Street Grill. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 9:30.
Irish shot.
The Bruins.
Rebound score!
Play here. The Sports Hub.
My buddy.
With friends like these.
To climb up a tree.
You know.
We're the best friends you can be, my buddy and me.
Now,
Me.
more of your best morning buddies, Toucher and Hardy, on the Sports Hub.
Throughout the year, he does the beast. You have to download it. You need a code. It's a PDF file. It's got so much information on it. It's the big draft extravaganza. He works for The Athletic. He's got mock drafts out now, and it's a good time we thought to have him on. Now, listen, the Patriots are obviously going to be picking very low. It's not so much about the draft as it is about the Patriots draft. This is about college football playoffs. They've announced the teams, what this draft class looks like in meta sense, who's fantastic on it. Dane is the best. Dane, thank you so much for joining us, sir.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, it's a little different than the last few years when we've talked in regards to the Patriots and where they're picking in the first round. And I imagine it's got to be very refreshing for you guys and the fan base.
I don't care for it at all. It's too fast. It's too much good fortune.
Some of
shines on this team.
us like it, others of us don't.
Well, John, I don't believe you. You don't think you deserve it, and you know that's true. You know something is coming for you negative. Fate does not work in one way.
I see.
But there you go. This seems like a cruel punishment, Dane, but here we are, indeed. The Patriots are in first place and maybe the best team in the AFC. All right, so just in terms of quarterbacks in general coming out in this draft, what are you hearing about who's likely coming out? Let's start with that.
I think the only quarterback that scouts feel very confident will be in this class among the underclassmen is Fernando Mendoza, probably the Heisman favorite at this point with what he did over the weekend in the Big Ten championship game against Ohio State, the number 1 ranked defense in all of college football. I mean, he is. We thought he was a first-round pick coming into the year, coming over from Cal, going that Curt Cignetti offense with the Hoosiers. But not only did he just cement that, but he's put himself to be a legitimate number 1 overall pick type of contender. Reminds me a lot of Jared Goff when he was coming out of college, where the physical traits are fine. Like the mobility, the arm strength, they're good, not great, but good. But it's really the intelligence pre and post snap, the poise, the confidence. That's what stands out the most with Fernando Mendoza. And then I think that it's a little bit of we're waiting and seeing which other underclassmen will come out after Mendoza. Dante Moore from Oregon has had a terrific year. He's 20 years old, and he could really use another year. But is this a strike while the iron's hot type of situation where if he declares, he'll be a top 5 pick? the amount of quarterback needy teams at the top of this draft far outweigh the supply. So it's kind of a tough decision for him. NIL obviously affects decisions now. Oregon will have no problems writing that check, but at the same time, can you pass up a top 5 pick? And then Ty Simpson from Alabama is the other underclassman we're watching closely. The first 2 months of the year looks great. Then November happened, and it was a little more rocky. But, he's a different situation. He has 13 starts. He's a one-year starter, but he turns 23 this month. And so does he feel like it's time to move on instead of going back for his 5th year at Alabama? So it could end up being a pretty light quarterback class, which, I think we had a lot of optimism for what this quarterback class would look like. And it's looking like that's going to be 2027 and not 2026.
If Dante Moore is on the fence about coming out, could he be inspired to make that decision based on Oregon being name-checked in the new Pat McAfee song?
Oh.
Top of mind awareness now, the excitement builds, and he figures, hey, yes, I might as well do it now.
There you go. I mean, these decisions are so unique and personal that I think fans would be shocked about some of the variables that go into some of these decisions about whether they go, whether they come out. These kids are young, and I'm not saying this is, Dante Moore's situation, but a lot of these guys just aren't getting great advice. They're kind of going based on vibes. They're going based off of, dollar figures and, maybe not what's best for them long term. But, look, Dante Moore is a really talented quarterback at Oregon, and Dan Lanning's a very persuasive guy. We know they can write the check. So, it'll be interesting to see ultimately what decision he makes.
Are any of these quarterbacks worth trading 2-3 first-round picks to jump up and get and then pay them all that money and center your franchise's future around? In your opinion. It
really depends on the team. Like, if I'm the Cleveland Browns, I'm desperate. Although, Shedeur, give him credit, he played well against a bad defense in Tennessee. So we'll see how Shedeur Sanders finishes out the year. But, a team like the Browns, where they have 2 first-round picks, and you could package those to go from pick 5 up to number 1 to go get Fernando Mendoza, I think that makes sense for them. Whereas maybe some other teams, it doesn't make as much sense. There's not a quarterback in this class that is on the level of Drake May when he was coming out as a prospect.
So you'd
in terms of grade.
Yeah, but unless you're desperate, you're saying you'd wait till 27.
I would not give up the farm to go get a quarterback in this class unless I was desperate. And there are several desperate quarterback needy teams this year. And it's easy when you're a GM. You don't know what your job security is. It's, let's go get our guy now. That leads to some rash decisions. Sometimes it works out, but a lot of times it doesn't. This is just going to be a quarterback class. And a lot will depend on who finishes with the first pick, right? Because usually the first pick does not get traded. The first pick has gotten traded twice the last 20 years. And it's usually because the team that picks first needs a quarterback. But if the Titans or the Giants end up with that first overall pick this year, it's getting dealt. They will move back because this is also a draft where there's not a clear-cut non-quarterback that's definitely, worth it. There's no Myles Garrett. There's no that level of prospect where you stick and pick. If you have a chance to trade out of there, you're moving. And so a lot will depend on who finishes with the first pick this year.
Okay, so some of the analysis that I've seen about this draft is interesting in that 2 of the best. Let's just start with a number. How many elite players are in this draft overall?
Gosh, that's so tough because elite is
like a surefire top 10 talent, like a rare. Like last year, what was it? It was like Travis Hunter and
Abdul Carter.
Yeah. Are there guys like that, like that are like, generational prospects in this draft?
I would not say generational. I think there's really good prospects at the top. Arvell Reese from Ohio State is, the modern day edge linebacker. The athlete that he is at 6'5", 240 pounds, is exceptional. And then I think the The interesting part, or interesting storyline of this draft is going to be Caleb Downs and Jeremiah
That's
Love.
where I was going with you, because it's a lot of people think, I don't know a lot of people, but there are people throughout the year that thought those are the two best players in college football. But Caleb Downs is a safety and Jeremiah Love is a running back, which are two positions generally not taken in the top 10.
The NFL has told us how they feel about drafting those two positions in the top 10. But you could argue these are two of the three best players in the draft. So it'll be fascinating to see how this ends up playing out. Because Caleb Downs as a safety, you'll hear when you watch Ohio State on TV, they'll bring up Ed Reed, and he's not that style of player. It's just not how he's used. He's more of a downhill guy. But he's so smart that you can do everything that you want a safety to do. I mean, you want him to play as a nickel. You want him to play in the box. You want him to play as a robber. You want him to play in the post. He can do all these different things. And he's usually the first read for a quarterback, because you have to identify what Caleb Downs is doing, and then that dictates where you're going with the football. So Caleb Downs and his intelligence, and he's a good athlete, physical, one of the best tacklers in this class. And so if you have any type of need at safety, he's not a guy that you should pass on. But, like I said, the NFL has told us how they feel about drafting safeties. And then Jeremiah Love, the running back, who, if I had a Heisman ballot, he would be on my top three pretty easily. He's so explosive. Reminds me a lot of James Cook in Buffalo, where if you hits the accelerator, gets through the lane, good luck. I mean, he just erases pursuit angles. And he's also very versatile in terms of what he does in the passing game. He'll stuff up a pass pro. But more importantly, you can kick him out, and he'll line up in the slot. He can line up out wide, and he becomes a receiver for you. So not every team is at the point in their roster construction where it makes sense drafting a running back top 10. I'm thinking about the Raiders and, drafting Ashton Genty 5th overall.
Yeah, how did that end up affecting things? Like, why don't you think Genty has been better this year?
Well, I mean, the passing game, the offensive line, the entire offense is just it's not really not conducive to dropping a running back in and letting him kind of flourish. Teams have they can really zero in on the running back, and it really makes it tough on him. So I think that the Raiders just thought they were in a better place offensively with the health of their offense than in reality where they are. And so, we've already seen the offensive coordinator fired there, and there will be more changes coming. I think teams have to be honest with themselves with where they are in their roster construction about drafting a running back that high. So, we've seen it. I don't think the Falcons regret drafting Bijan Robinson 8th overall, or the Lions regretting drafting Jahmyr Gibbs 12th overall. Those are two examples of how it worked out. And Jeremiah Love, if he goes to the right situation, I think it can work out as well. And the Commanders, they need another explosive part of that offense. I'm thinking about the Vikings, and they've got some quarterback issues, but add an explosive element to that backfield that might really help things develop on that offense. So there are teams in the top 10, top 12 where it makes sense. But again, he's one of the best three players in this draft who probably won't go as high as he should just because he's a running back.
Patriots are going to obviously pick towards the bottom of the first round, if not at the bottom of the first round, and their roster construction is such that they can afford to just take the best player available. What positional grouping has a lot of depth that they could get at 29, 30, wherever they wind up?
Yeah, I was joking that the new Patriots motto they should have plastered across that building is just protect Drake at all costs. And whatever that means, whether that's offensive line, whether that's upgrading the talent in terms of the weapons and just making the offense more explosive, it's been awesome to watch him. And it's funny because it was 2 years ago about this time where the most hate and vitriol I've ever received on social media was at the end of Drake May's season at North Carolina. NC State, Clemson, it did not go well. And I'd been hyping this guy up for 2 years about how he was going to be the next big thing. And the way the season ended, his final year at UNC, it did not look good. And the amount of people pushing back on that. And so it's just funny to look back at that now. I think the most important stat besides the score, we hear turnovers, but right there with turnovers is explosive plays. And Drake May, I think only Josh Allen has more plays of 20-plus yards in the NFL, and it's close. I think Josh Allen's at 53 and Drake May's at 51. So it's just when you have the ability to create these explosives, that just changes the equation. And so whatever I can do to help helping my young quarterback, that's what I'm going to do, whether that's offensive tackle depth, depth on the interior, to be another weapon on the outside. I think this draft could play out where that is, not only what they need and could use, but where they'll be picking in the draft makes sense, whether that's, an offensive lineman, Monroe Freeling from Georgia is the tackle I had to them in my mock draft. Caleb Tiernan from Northwestern, I think would make sense. Caleb Lomu from Utah. If they wanted to go with a wide receiver, I think we're going to see 4 to 6 receivers go in the first round this year. Casey Concepcion from Texas A&M could be in that mix. Chris Bell from Louisville is a big target, 6'2", 225 pounds. He's going to run the 4.4s. Could be another explosive option on the outside, big target. So I think that with where the Patriots could go to help their young quarterback, it could be exactly in the range of where they're picking.
All right. Very good. Dane Brugler, obviously great information. Read him on The Athletic as this all starts playing out. Enjoy the research, sir. Look forward to talking to you soon.
All right. Can't wait. Thanks, guys.
All right. There you go. Dane Brugler. He knows a lot. And there you go. A lot of receivers. That's good news for the Patriots. And the good news just keeps on coming for the Patriots. Coming.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Coming.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
Coming. Yeah. All right. We'll be back with our award-winning email segment.
More touch your... Hub app with you so you can hear more of Toucher and Hardy
That's what I want on my tombstone.
on the Sports Hub.
You know, I got an idea for a bit. The email bit. We should do the email bit. It's a great idea. Let's do the email bit.
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy. Get our emails at 985thesportshub.com. You can follow us on social media at Toucher and Hardy, at Hardy985, and the Triumph that is at Fred Toucher, where I have not looked at this in like a month. I stand at, oh man, I don't even know how to look at it. 26,000.1 followers.
Oh, so just over 26,000 now.
I mean, it's moving. It's fits and starts, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
It's fits and starts, buddy.
Well, the holidays are coming up. You get some nice holiday content on there. That'll make people happy. I'll make them tap that.
Well, that's the only reason I do anything over the holidays is just to put it up there.
There you go.
So at Fred Toucher on there, I've been getting a lot of emails, and I thank you for it because I do want to see it. I don't know if you got those. Hardy, you have. It says, Fred and Hardy, my son works for the show Elsbeth, Elsbeth, and gave me a heads up about a very Belichickian parallel story. This time it's an over-the-hill NBA coach, and the Jordan Hudson-esque arm candy was smarter and prettier than the actual one. So there is an episode, apparently, of a network sitcom called I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, Elsbeth.
I think it's Elsbeth, yeah. And I read up on it over the weekend as I was instructed to by Adam, and it turns out that this is very, very similar to the Belichick-Jordan
Ripped from the headlines. Yeah.
Dynamic. It is a basketball coach, not a football coach.
That's how they disguise it, you see. No one would catch on that way.
But, I mean, the age difference is the same.
Guys, wicked schlubby looking.
Yep, schlubby looking. There are issues regarding their social media and the way their relationship is being portrayed in the media. But there is a murder.
Oh.
There is a murder, and there is some question as to whether or not the girlfriend has something to do with it. The question then becomes, could you see Jordan killing someone?
No,
I think that is a fair question to ask of her.
Yes,
that we should debate.
Now, is this an hour-long Big Four network show?
I think it's a Big Four network show.
Is it an hour long?
I don't know.
Elsbeth is a procedural comedy drama on CBS.
There you go.
How long are the episodes? Because I'm going somewhere with this.
43 minutes, so it's an hour long.
It's a full hour long, yeah.
Well, you know Belichick saw it then. Because these shows are created, these hour-long mystery shows on network television are for John and for Bill Belichick. John, of course, would watch Blue Bloods every Friday night and enjoy that. These are archaic. These make me feel like I'm 19 years old again. I've never watched these in my life, but John's right there with the Blue Bloods. Here's a good one from Cam. On Friday, Max said he took the train to the games until recently. Max is talking about Max.
Cedric Maxwell.
Yes, Cedric Maxwell taking the trains to the games on Celtics games that he called. He didn't have a car until recently. He just moved out around you. What did he say, Easton?
Yes, he said Easton.
Oh, yeah. And then Hardy asked him if he would like to go out. He said no, and he meant it too. Not a very sociable fella, that Cedric Maxwell.
No. I mean, if maybe if I asked Mrs. Wallach to join me, then he might go. He's a big fan of Mrs. Wallach.
He does like my
When was the
wife a
last
lot.
time they've met?
They've only met once.
They've only met once?
Yes. They've only met once.
She made quite the impression.
She did.
Do you think he may think that you're with someone else?
He's aware of my marital history. He's aware of that.
You know, John's first wife doesn't look the way you think that she would look. John's first wife, your second wife is obviously wonderful. I'm talking about your first wife, though. His first wife, you didn't do too bad for yourself there, Johnny.
Did he
I show you a
what?
picture?
Yeah.
Did I?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I've known
doing
you
that.
for 20
I know it's
years,
been a long
John.
time. I just don't remember.
I didn't
These memories kind of fade into oblivion.
It wasn't a situation you would remember. It just came up. Like it wasn't something that I asked for or you were like talking about.
Right.
It was like you were going through your phone or something, and like, or someone sent you a picture of her.
Okay.
John still carries a picture of her in his wallet, much to the chagrin of the current Mrs. Wallach.
Well, listen. Listen. This one worked. The first one didn't. But I'll tell you what. Based on my memory, I was like, Jesus Christ. Not like John's a bad-looking guy, but I was like, wow, like this girl's all right. Anyway, on Friday, Max said he took the train to games until recently. Anyone else find it ironic that an NBA Finals MVP, number retired by the Celtics, producer of a famous sports quote, Cedric Maxwell will take public transportation, but career NFL backup QB Scott Zolak refuses to. That is from Cam.
Yeah. Zoe wears it as a badge of honor that he's never taken the train. He won't take the train. He's never been on the T, the commuter rail, nothing. Won't do it. Claims to be a man of the people. Won't take public transportation.
Not really the case, it would appear.
See, there's a line of demarcation here, or distinction, and that is the bus. I don't know how you can live in a major city like Boston and never have taken the train unless you're insisting on not taking the train.
Mm-hmm.
The train is just so easy, and I know it has problems. Believe me. But, I mean, it pretty much is by everyone. Like, you know, like if it's... You got to live real far away not to have, like, some sort of train.
Access to the commuter rail or something. Yeah.
Just by if you can't get a cab and you're in the city and you're close enough to a train station. There's been a bunch of times where I was looking to try to get an Uber or something, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ, North Station's right here. I'll wait and take a train. It's a pain in the ass after a game, but I'll do it because it's better than just sitting here. A bus, there's a difference there.
Yeah.
I've never ridden on a public bus in my entire life, and
Really?
I would, but when would I have done it? Good luck in when we were growing up anywhere near Detroit finding a bus.
No, there's no bus.
Coleman Young was using that money for other things, nothing to do with you or I or the city.
I have the mild anxiety about not knowing how to get on the bus. How does one get on the bus? How does one pay for the bus? Like, I know how to do the T. Mm-hmm. You know, that's something you learn day one. And, I had to make the change from the tokens to the Charlie card, but I did it. Yeah, fine with that. But I don't know how to get on the bus. I don't know what you do.
My ex-wife, when we first moved here, before we had kids, worked at the Prue, and we lived in this is in Brookline and Brighton. And she had to when we moved to Brighton, she had to take the bus to the train or something of that nature. Mm. And it was and she was every morning she was riding the bus.
Mm.
Like a real fringy type. You know? Every day I would look at her, I go, you've been on the bus.
Fred, I have an email if you have the beginning
I know,
of that,
I know you want to get to it. It's very good. You don't like this conversation.
No,
right.
you seem to be coming to a transitional point.
I know what you're going to. All right, go. If you want to read it, go ahead.
Yeah, so, did you? You didn't
just go ahead, Adam.
Okay. So play the beginning of the Pat McAfee song, please. Just the beginning. Featured this earlier this morning. So that's that. And this is Matt saying, beginning of that song, all I can think of is The Wolf of Wall Street. Scene where McConaughey's in the restaurant with DiCaprio. He's
McConaughey's
beating on his chest.
playing a douchebag.
Yes.
And
acting like a douchebag.
Well, do you know the other one that it's compared to?
What?
A little song called Bear Force One.
Okay, yeah.
Is Pat McAfee trying to tell us something?
No,
this is hot off the presses. I don't know. They both could be in the gay pride thing. Who knows?
Ooh, wow. There we go.
Yeah, Pat McAfee. It's almost like Pat McAfee, if you don't know, he was a big fan of writing music on his notes app on his phone. That's how he wrote his music. He expressed himself musically in a non-audio format. And I take it he has a program where you can write notes. You know, iReader, this guy. And he took these ideas to Nashville, and I think almost in a Harry Carey type moment, and almost like when a samurai pulls the knife on themselves. I think that them making this Pat McAfee stuff into a song might be an effort to just blow the whole thing up and expose themselves and go, you realize we do this with every idiot that comes in here. And then maybe they want you to, they feel so bad about themselves, they want you to know how the sausage is made.
I'm all the way in Eugene, smoking on some new green, changing up the routine, gratitude truly, feel like new school dean, life's pretty cool, G3 jobs, fuel means tank top, blue jeans.
So that's what he has spent the last, his life writing down. These are the thoughts. Blue jeans.
Tank top.
Gratitude.
Truly.
Three, truly, which you said, double entendre.
Because it could also be just a better thing to rhyme than White Claw.
Right. He's having.
Which I'm sure he's down plenty of both.
Listen, it's, Saturdays are for the boys.
What's the other big one on the golf course now? The guys are always drinking.
High Noon?
The High Noon, and there's another like iced tea.
There's some Finnish one that.
Surfside, Hardy?
Surfside.
Yeah. Thank you, Beaton.
Rask has got his hands in some Finnish drink. It's all over my.
Is that the long drink?
I think they might advertise on the
advertise them
station,
here,
but I don't drink anymore. Is the only reason I don't know. It's a fine beverage, I'm sure. I probably had it, but they that's all over. Rask got in and he said, "You put this at the club," and I would know because I'm there twice a year. So
yeah,
is that what we're down to?
Oh, yeah, John.
Twice a year now?
I think about it almost every day, how much I've peed away on joining that place.
Are you at the throwing the good money after bad?
I don't
point
know.
Yet?
Because it's 10 months out of the year just not overly expensive. And to join now is a huge pain in the ass and really expensive.
Right.
So I got in without having to wait. I got in without having to spend a lot of money. Getting in. And so now it's like, if I stop going and quit, then that whole thing is over. And then I would, if I ever wanted to do it again, it would be much harder.
But
Plus, think of how much less popular I am now than I was 10 years ago.
Wow. What are the odds that you would want to do it again? Because I don't know for sure, but I got a pretty good idea of what you spend a year there, and it's not nothing.
No, but it's not insane. Like, it's not like if you don't use it, it's a beautiful club and they're nice people. But if you don't use it, it's a waste of money. It's not like it's this insane amount anymore. That money's been spent already. The insane amount has been spent. That was what you got to pay up front. The stuff now is just more of like a light pinch.
Yeah.
Except for 2 months a year, and then it's like kind of a lot. But it's like, I'll give you an example. It was $500 my last payment. Okay. Now, that was $500 where I did not go. So it's just like giving someone $500. Mm-hmm. But I give a lot of people money. My agent gets 5% of my pre-tax income. I'm paying alimony and child support. My son goes to a private school.
A lot to charity.
I've been stepping up a little bit. Gentlemen, where I sat yesterday, a pew at an Episcopal church.
Okay.
On my own decision.
Second Sunday in Advent. There you go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because of the Christmas time. Because tis
Advent
the
season.
Reason for the season.
Yeah.
And let's just say I made a donation to the donation.
You made it okay.
Where in the thing, the brass thing they pass around.
Yeah.
And let's just say it wasn't cash.
Did you throw a check in there?
It was ideas.
Yeah.
No, I put a check in there. I've given this month because every time I do my taxes, I say, why am I paying the government? Why should I be giving this to good charities? This month I've been okay about it. It's funny that you mention it. I want people to like me, so I really want to get on this.
This Episcopal church, you got anything going down the basement there that you saw when you were in there yesterday?
What the hell's wrong with you?
Anything coming up on, I don't know, maybe a Tuesday night? They like Tuesday nights usually.
You went to church? You didn't go by yourself?
Yep.
By yourself?
Mm-hmm.
You just went to church yesterday?
Yeah.
What time?
10.
Did you know anyone there?
They know me just because of who I am. They said, you're Fred Toucher. And I went, yeah.
Huh.
Like when I was leaving. Like I don't know, is it a priest in Episcopal church?
Yeah.
Minister.
What'd they talk about?
Something from Isaiah. Some good stuff.
That's a tight service, the Episcopals. They get you out of there.
Nah, it was an hour 15.
Oh, really?
Because a guy's getting baptized. He's going back to China.
I'll let you
there you
know,
go.
12.
There you go.
Guys, and then they got to do
Baptismal.
the whole, with the crackers and everything else.
Yep.
So you do that.
Huh.
How about that?
It's Christmas time. My son was away. My daughter was at my house. She's not getting up. So I said, I want to go I feel Christmassy. And I can go to some commercial nonsense, or I can go to my Episcopal church. I told friends of mine that I went out. I didn't feel like a loser.
No, I don't think you should feel like a loser. I just feel there's more to this story
There's nothing more to it. I swear to God. What could there be? And enough. And with him, with his cracks about AA, have fun with the blowback on that, dum-dum. No, I don't go there for AA. I don't, as a matter of fact.
I wasn't making an AA joke.
No,
I was making a spaghetti dinner joke.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
My bad.
No.
I thought you were making fun
I was
of
being
me.
self-deprecating.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
No, I see.
I didn't
why
like
you
when it
went.
was about me.
It's nice to go around the holiday season. It gets you into the holiday spirit. You're someone who loves Christmas and Christmas time. It absolutely
I do
tracks
love
that you would
Christmas
go and
time.
do that.
And so I went. I might go this Sunday too. I make my kids go on Christmas Eve, but I don't like the church by my parents' house because it's Southern. They did. I told you they did Adam and Eve at the Christmas Eve service.
Keep you in there forever too.
Tight hour.
Really?
That one.
Well, Christmas Eve.
But it seats about 2,000. They have big movie, and they chose Adam and Eve, which is a dark tale, and they read from the Old Testament, like Revelation. That's Revelations.
Yes.
Right? Whatever it is.
No, I'm saying it's a Genesis.
Genesis. Yeah. And then they started playing Genesis, and it was the keyboard player, not Phil Collins.
And this is a Christmas Eve service, right?
It's a Christmas Eve service.
You got to be hanging out in Luke in the New Testament on Christmas Eve.
I think you keep it fun.
Going on here, you know?
And it was the early one. I think you keep it fun. I don't think you get into sinning and things of that nature. I don't want to hear about that on Christmas Eve. Yeah, you got something kicking around that brain. You don't like that I was at church.
I don't like that I don't know the whole story. I can't picture you getting up saying, you know what I'm going to do?
I told Zoe the night before we went to the movies, and I said, you know what? I worked out hard today. And I did yoga. I don't want to go to yoga. I go, it's Christmas time. I'm going to go to church tomorrow. And I said, do you want to go? And she started laughing. And I said, I'm not going to make you go. So I got up at 9. I went to church. I came back, and then I walked the dog. And then I watched the games. And then Zoe had a gentleman caller over. And I had to make dinner. Because I said to the kid, do you want to eat? And he went, yeah. And I went, what's going on?
You almost to the undeniable degree, don't do anything you don't want to do.
Well, that's insanity. I almost entirely do things I don't want to do.
If there's something,
my life is of service to others. Not in a charitable way.
I'm not talking about your kids.
Yeah, you think I want to do all that stuff?
Well,
I wanted to see Zootopia 2. That was my big plan for a Saturday night.
No,
I don't mind doing it.
I'm not talking about the things that are borderline required by law in order to,
You are correct. There were a lot of people there.
I'm trying to wrap my head around why you would want to go to church.
Because
and don't tell me it's Christmas time. That's not enough.
It's not. If it was July 4th, that would be a question. It was because it was Christmas time. Nothing's going wrong. Nothing's going right. It's Christmas time. I like Christmas. I like the ritual of when they light the Advent candles. I like it. I find it comforting. It's an hour. I like the guy that does it. I've been there before. I like the guy who does it. I think he's smart. Green Bay Packer fan. Midwestern guy. I enjoy him. I'm not lying. There's nothing else. I wasn't sitting there like praying and praying and praying.
I don't
for things
think
to happen.
I don't think it's because there's something necessarily good or bad going on in your life. There's something.
I was by myself. What? I know we have to break, Adam, but like, here's the thing. I don't know how you can think I don't do things I don't want to do.
Because that's your standard answer. You want to go to the no. I'm not doing that. I don't want to. I'm not going. Let's go to San Francisco for the Super Bowl. No, I'm not going.
I stand corrected.
Do you think he's going to an episode of some kind?
No, I think there's someone there that he wanted to see.
I assure you that's not the case. I get a lie detector, 70,000 Bibles, do whatever you want to do. I assure you, 1,000 in so far beyond that being true. No. Not even if they put their hand in my lap. No.
Doesn't it have to be someone of an amorous nature? It doesn't.
Did what? Someone I want to be friends with? You think that there's a girl that I like there, and I can tell you 1 billion times no.
Yeah, break.
The chances of me meeting a woman at church are very low. I'm gonna go start hitting on girls at church. Some girl that goes to like the after church activities. Get out of here. You crazy? All right. You've tried to figure it out, though. I'm not lying to you. We'll be back. Here are the headlines.
Essential Sports Hub headlines.
know. No, you don't know.
Everyone agrees that I'm the only one who's not wrong.
Right or wrong, they're back. Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub. We know what you're thinking. What could I possibly have missed from the show? It's time for The Stack on Toucher and Hardy.
Hey, we're Toucher and Hardy. The Stack is brought to you by New England's largest Volkswagen dealer group, ColonialVW.com, located in Medford, Wellesley, and Westboro. Come see the amazing finance and lease offers during VW's Winter Deal Days. Yes, you can have it all at Colonial. I could see how this would be annoying. We got an email. We were talking about the Texas Tech team, and I said the quarterback was this mustachioed, huge guy. I saw him warming up before the game, and he had a mustache, and he was, talking on the television and all these things. I thought he was an adult, all these things. And Mark says, Fred, I could not listen any longer without emailing. You are so wrong. Please do some research before you talk about things you don't know about. There's really no reason to do research. I was at the gym and saw a guy warming up throwing footballs in a Texas Tech uniform. I assumed it was the quarterback. I don't know if I didn't. It wasn't a Texas Tech break. It was just something. All right.
Also,
real quick, he was just joking around pregame, throwing the football. He actually won money for charity. Oh man, my bad. If he was, wow.
Step in it a little bit more, why don't you?
Wow, what a gesture by the guy. He absolutely will be the NFL in the NFL next year. Please tell Wog to shut up if he doesn't know either. I could see that being annoying if you're listening and you know the Texas Tech quarterback, but to be honest with you, I don't know if that's my. I'm just telling you what I saw. That was my research. Didn't say, I might talk about what I saw. Best look into this further.
Dan in North Attleboro also emailed in and said, I think it's nice Fred went to church. Hardy should shut up about this. Oh, Dan. You think I'm going to shut up about this? I'm not done.
You know who won't shut up about this is that bolt of lightning headed right for your dome because one of us is without sin.
I'll figure out why you were there. All right, see you tomorrow.
Did you take the body of Christ in the blood of Christ? Did you take the sacrament yesterday? Have you? When was the last time?
I'll get to the bottom of it.
I think I'm a little better off than you. Should the end of the world come today, I know where I'm going and I know where you're staying, and that's boots on the ground purgatory. Thank you very much. And John wrote that off long ago when he turned his back on religion so many years ago. All right, that will do it for us. Everyone have a great day. Bye.
Talk to you tomorrow. Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Men, we hear it all the time.